safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-941-2255. That's 800-941-2255.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Live from downtown San Francisco, this is 95.7 The Game.
What's going on, Warriors, this week here on 95.7 The Game? As always, Dan Devone, Steve Risotto, a.k.a. Pasta Behind the Glass. My name is Evan Giddings, rocking with you on a Saturday morning. The Warriors fresh off of what felt like a bye week, Dan. They had no games from Monday up until last night, and then they kind of get walked down by an antless Minnesota Timberwolves. No insects for the Wolves, but still a W. And yet, here we are again. 500, my friend.
Well, you can't use the fact that the scheduling and the condensed sort of all of these games being shoved into a brief amount of time as an excuse, right? You had a good 4 days off. Whoever has, aside from that of the All-Star break, 4 days to get ready for a basketball game yet. And we'll get into it. Jimmy Butler still looked sort of old, and so did a lot of the Golden State Warriors, and it's not something that you can point out as saying, like, well, come on, man, we're playing too many games. Nah, not last night.
Well, you can thank the NBA Cup for that. I mean, that's one of the byproducts of the Emirates Cup. I didn't realize that that's actually kind of why they condensed the first, I don't know, what was it, like 17 games in 29 days the Warriors were talking about. And remember what we also said after that, which was, okay, You had your time to talk about how the schedule wasn't very favorable and how it was the worst that we've ever seen, and I can't believe the Warriors are getting buried by the 17 cities in 28 days. But now there's no excuses. Now you're just getting beat. And I, as much as like the Timberwolves are a good team, even without Ant, I think they're still a pretty good squad. But you had a chance last night to, if you got a win, be within 1.5 of them for the 6th seed, which is the goal, right? You want to get out of the play-in. Now you got Portland on Sunday, who's had your number. You got Phoenix, who's ahead of you in the standings, though you've beaten them. I think last night it's not a game that we're going to think about, big picture in a month and say, wow, that's the one that really hurt. But it's got some tie-breaking Western Conference implications, and it's also, oh, by the way, the team that knocked you out of the playoffs last year.
Yeah, still a lot of basketball to be played. So we got 60-plus games left in the season. I mean, there's still very much in the hunt as far as catching Minnesota. There's going to be a lot of ebb and flow between now and then being the end of the season. So this is going to shake out throughout the entire season when it comes to catching Phoenix, just sort of, the back and forth of the NBA in a West that has, there's Oklahoma. I don't know. Do we put Denver in that category? Probably not. So it's OKC, and then you go Denver and maybe Houston, and then it's a free-for-all. Then it's the Warriors, and it's Minnesota, and it's Phoenix, and it's just, plug in the team. And they're in that conversation. It just depends on who's playing well, what's the rotation, what's going on with Jonathan Kaminga. And last night is a game that I don't know that we can't sit here and there wasn't anything that I would say is, okay, that's the cause. It wasn't like last week, and I know this is sort of tongue-in-cheek at the expense of my friend Juan Chavano, Buddy Hield, running like his hair's on fire and collides into DeAnthony Melton and spills him, and the ball goes in one direction. The Warriors lose the game.
I saved the day.
Exactly. I can't point at anything like that. I think the Warriors actually played well. But them playing well is not good enough, unfortunately, to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are without their best player.
Well, that's the problem, right? It seems like it's something every single night. At least in their losses, it's always something different. There's not really a like if I asked you what the constant theme is throughout all of these losses that are, I would say, I don't know about frustrating. Save me, Dan.
Bless you, child.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I used to have a friend in grammar school.
That was last night.
He was from the Middle East, and English was clearly his second language. And when I would sneeze in class, he would say very out loud, "Bless you, child." And then when he would call my house, he would say, my middle name is O'Brien, by the way. They call me Obi. Everyone in my house, everyone that sort of in my personal network calls me Obi. It's O'Brien. I was named after an Irish priest, believe it or not.
Your middle name?
Yeah, but they call me Obi. So anyways,
okay.
And he would call my house when I was a child, and he'd say, "Obi's home?" That's all he would say. "Obi's home?" And my mom or dad or brother or sister would say, "Oh, but your buddy Ronnie." I'm like, "How'd you know?" "Well, nobody else calls us and says, 'Obi's home.'"
You are an international man of mystery. There's no doubt about it.
But he would say that, "Bless you, child."
Wait, so you have one middle name?
How many am I supposed to have?
I have two.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sort of regal of you.
Well, I didn't do it, but it's a family thing. So I have two middle names. One's Howard for my grandfather, and one is my mother's family's name, which is Abercrombie. And I have two, but my brother has one because I don't think I've ever heard this before. But the day that my brother was born, there's this paperwork that you got to fill out, right? Official paperwork, sends in to print out the birth certificate, become an official human being. So the nurse, I guess if you want to have multiple middle names, you have to fill out multiple pages. So it was extra paperwork for the nurse to fill out multiple middle names. So she just combined the first name and my brother's first middle name. So his official name is John Randall. That's his first name. It's two names into one because the nurse was lazy.
Wow. So what's your middle name?
My middle name is Howard Abercrombie.
That is awesome. Okay, listen. For this point forward, Pasta, he is now Howard Giddings. Because if you're Howard Giddings, you will be calling play-by-play in the major leagues tomorrow.
Howard Giddings.
Oh, no doubt, Howard Giddings. Howard Giddings is on the call. Who's calling the game? Howard Giddings is. Oh, Howard Giddings. Howard Giddings. Howard HG's on the call.
Howard Giddings also sounds like one of those guys on the billboards for medical law.
Well, he was someone that was born during the Depression, so it's a strong name.
That is a great name, Howard.
Been through some stuff. Been through some stuff.
Wow.
All right. Usually I have a transition, but I'm not really sure to get back into this.
Before we get back into things, I just I was closing out my phone and I was looking at the text.
You can leave it on. Usually it goes off once a show.
Yeah, I sent a text to Pasta and I said, I will be here at 8 a.m. as I typically, usually the first guy here, right? I turn on the
9
lights.
a.m., sure.
8 a.m. and I produce I get all the sound ready. I get the Steve Kerr sort of, and I go through all the production and then I let Pasta in. So I said, I'll be here at 8 a.m., Pasta. And I said, check that. I'll be about 8:15, running a little late today.
He cannot be that guy.
So, you know what it made me think of? When I was growing up, there was a play-by-play guy with the San Francisco Giants for about a year, and his name was Phil Stone. He had the great pipes. I think it was the 1 year where Hank Greenwald actually signed a contract with the New York Yankees. Hank Greenwald was really popular at the time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Went to the Yankees for $1 million, which at the time was unheard of, yes. And he did, because he was the guy when it came to play-by-play.
Oh, yeah.
And it just goes to show you that, especially when it comes to baseball can be very provincial. And Hank Greenwald worked in San Francisco, but he did not necessarily translate to New York, because I had relatives in New York, and they were like, get this guy the hell out of here. They did not like Hank Greenwald. Hank Greenwald is God out here. Anyways, thank you very much. So, but when we get, was that Sterling? It was.
Oh, yeah.
So, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, Phil Stone, his nickname was Phil Check That Stone. And even back when I was a little kid, I was like critical of these announcers. It's like, this guy sucks. Because there would be, Phil Stone would be on the call and he'd go, fly ball to center field. Chili Davis camping under that. Check that, it's Max Venable. Check that, it's Larry Herndon. Check that. I'm like, dude, what are we doing here?
That is one of the more frustrating things because, the two parts about calling a game that you kind of have to be on top of is, especially on the radio, it's direction and it's who the player is. You can mess up. Was it a few bounces? Was it a soft line drive? Sometimes it's hard to tell a ball off the bat. You get a little bit lost, but you got to know. Number one, is the ball to right field? Is it to left field? Is it to the third baseman? Or is it to, you know what I'm saying? And you have to know who the guy is that's going to catch the ball. So you cannot consistently, oh, well, pardon me. The old beg your pardon. That is a broadcaster's favorite friend. I beg your pardon. That's not Thompson. That's actually Thomas out there in left field. One down in the bottom of the second inning.
I was doing my first, literally my first gig was doing radio, but just doing sports updates right out of college in Hawaii while I was doing Chaminade play-by-play. And I was at KHVH, and they were like, now with sports, let's go to Dan Devone. And I'm like, thank you very much. And there's a big baseball tournament going on at Eva Beach. And it's Eva Beach.
Yeah.
And they literally, I had to go in and see the program director. He's like, yeah, I don't know if we can keep you on. Like, they were getting calls. Like, there's certain names. You can do whatever it is that you want. You screw up a name of a player, especially of a certain area in a specific city, there oftentimes is no tomorrow.
That's actually that is really true, because when you go to a new place, and I've been several, you're in all these small towns. Sometimes you're in bigger places, but you're in a lot of like podunk places when you first start. And so I was lucky enough that when I moved to Fargo for the first time to do sports up there, the program director, who's a longtime newscaster, grew up there, went to the big city, aka Minneapolis, made his name, and then came back to Fargo, and he said, all right, what we're going to do is you and I are going to drive around for a day, and I'm going to tell you what each street actually means. That street is not Davies, it's Devise. Ooh. And if you say Davies, people will know. And so we just drove around in what felt like all of Fargo for a day, and he just pointed out different street signs to let me know how to actually pronounce that name, because a lot of it had to do with the schools. It wasn't, like West Fargo Cheyenne, which is spelled with an SH, could be pronounced different ways. Century, Kindred, there's Kindred. There's all these different small little names and street signs in Fargo. And I had no clue, because the only thing that most people know about Fargo, which is technically false, is that it's from the movie... Excuse me.
It was Fargo. It was called Fargo.
Fargo, yeah. But Fargo is actually a fictional town in the movie, because it's set in Fargo, Minnesota, which doesn't exist.
Is Bismarck the capital of North Dakota?
It is.
Okay. Not Fargo.
No. Fargo is, they consider them the city slickers, right? Because it's the only place in North Dakota that has over 100,000 people. But Fargo, Minnesota does not exist. That side of the border, because technically Fargo's a border town, is called Moorhead. So it's Fargo, North Dakota, and Moorhead, Minnesota. Fargo, Minnesota, which is where the movie is set, Fargo, does not exist.
Oh.
They just took a lot of the different, pronunciations and weird little quirks about the city, well, kindly city, and then put it into a movie.
Phil Jackson's from that part of the world.
Yes, he's from, I forget which Dakota he's from.
Because he was a Fighting Sioux, I want to say.
Well, you can't say that anymore.
Oh.
I think they're the Fighting Hawks.
Okay.
But it's like, it's like the Cleveland team.
North Dakota.
He's from North Dakota?
North Dakota.
Well, that's what I said. Oh, were we talking South Dakota?
No. The Fighting Hawks are UND, or the Fighting Sioux. Although a lot of people still call it that. I had a question for you. If I was going to ask you, damn it, I had a good one.
What it's like to be so good looking at my age? I can answer that for you.
Well, there is something we got to dig into.
Oh wait, there's so on the other side of
How old are you?
Before I go to the other side of this, there's a sportscaster. His name was Robert Kekala in Hawaii, right? And he wanted to go work in the mainland because he was the guy in Hawaii. He was huge. He wore these Aloha shirts, and he was 6'5", pushing 3 bills. And he literally would say on the air, I think he was referring to Michael Jordan, maybe Muhammad Ali, and he said, he's the most best. Like, okay. But that's fine in Hawaii because they sort of butcher the language, and there's a lot of pidgin. Like, oh, most best. He must be really good. Yeah. And then Robert would work in pidgin into his sportscast. Like, I mean, he wasn't doing it purposely. That's just sort of his lexicon, the way he spoke. And I had beers with him once, and he's like, man, Dan, I like go work the mainland, man. I didn't know how to break it to him. And I was just an intern. I was just a nobody. I'm like, yeah, I think you're good right here, man. I think you should stay on the islands. I don't think that he's the most best is going to work in Chicago.
Well, you never know. I mean, actually, so the Stuart Scott documentary just came out on ESPN, and was a guy who obviously sort of revolutionized how to do SportsCenter stuff or highlights in general, just the way that you watch sports. And
Cool as the other side of the pillow.
his lexicon was out of a book. I mean, you couldn't make it up.
Yeah.
How, and there was this story. I think it might have been in the documentary, but so Rich Eisen one night decided to use Seinfeld references because Stuart Scott used all these different references, right? And a lot of it was original. Other stuff was taken and sort of repurposed. And so Rich Eisen uses a Seinfeld reference. I forget what the line was, but he uses it. And Stuart Scott goes, "What are you doing, man?" And Rich Eisen goes, "Well, you use references. I can't use references." He's like, "But yeah, I'm not going to use your references. I got to go down my lane, and I like Seinfeld."
That is hilarious. Rich Eisen has a great story, and we got to get into the Warriors, all right? What the hell are we doing here, Pasta? What kind of show are you running?
Well, we only get to see each other 3 hours a week because
I'm
you're
running
off
a
and out.
powerhouse.
So Rich Eisen is just starting out at ESPN, and he's in New York City. And if you're a golfer and you golf and you live in New York, you can't play in the city. There's no real estate. You got to go out to Westchester, or you got to get outside of the city. So he's waiting for a buddy to pick him up in Midtown, right? He's right there, maybe Broadway, and he's got his sticks, he's got his clubs, and he sort of stands out because he's standing on a street corner in Manhattan with his clubs. And he says this huge black limousine, he's at a stoplight, he's on a corner waiting for his buddy. This black limousine pulls up at a red light. The window goes down, and it's Jerry Seinfeld. He doesn't know Rich Eisen, but he sees the guy with his clubs, and he says, "I hear Fifth Avenue is breaking left." And the window goes back up. Rich Eisen goes, "God, that guy is so smooth." And he just drove off. It's like, that is so. You know where he started, Rich Eisen? Eureka. Eureka, which borders
California?
Eureka, California, which borders Oregon. That's where Sasquatch sightings are. Like,
Yeah, it's the final frontier.
Yeah.
No, you drive 4.5 hours north, you're going to find some stuff.
That's gold country.
Oh, my goodness.
That's deliverance.
There's someone from the Boxer and Gerson work injury attorneys text line. Thank you, 619. Don't worry about the Warriors. We get plenty of that. Keep going with what you're doing.
Let's get into them Warriors. Come on.
Well, one thing I actually do like to do is when we get in the morning, because like I did post game last night, and there's a lot of the fresh reaction, right? People who are calling in.
I got to cut you off. So I'm in the car last night. I told you the Uber.
Yeah.
And I wanted to hear who's doing the post. So I told you I was listening to David Locke, and they're going through the NBA. This is after the game.
Tim Roy goes around the association.
And then he goes, I was out of the. I'm like, will you please get to 95.7 the game so I could hear you do the post game show? I wanted to get nuggets from the game, but it took so damn long.
I would just like to say that our post game with Tim Roy and R.C. Davis is among the best.
It is. Of course it is.
It is top class, and this is not a matter of contention. The fact that sometimes I don't start post game until about 45 minutes after the final buzzer. Again, not a matter of contention. There's, as Steiny would say, no malice here.
This is a presser?
You're taking us down a dangerous path here, buddy.
Oh, no. I
got to talk to the Hegan.
No. I love what they do. It's just because I have a personal relationship with you that I wanted to see them get to you sooner. It has nothing to do with formatting of the show. No, obviously.
Well, I'm not going to lie. We had some technical issues last night.
Okay.
Yeah, there was some problems in the gold offices. I needed to be in the blue offices at Chase Center. The gold offices, the Wi-Fi is a bit iffy. But where was I? Yeah, so I'm doing post game, and usually, you get the fresh emotion and people who are at the game or people who are watching the game, and what our YouTube chat, which is always powered by First NorCal Credit Union. But one thing that I don't always get to see because I'm remote is your beloved text line, right? Boxer Gerson work injury attorneys text line. So I like to come in the morning. Well, can't getting it up it happens in the morning. Is seeing the amount of text messages.
Not for me, man. Come on.
Is seeing the amount of text messages that pile up through the night. So do you want to go through some of them?
Baguette every morning. What? Yes. Go through the text line, will you, please?
I just got to get off of whatever kind of lane you steer us down to begin every single show.
I didn't go down there. That was. I just react. I'm in the number 2 chair.
We're having some fun.
Co-pilot.
Can we get a shout out for Eat It Ikes? Yeah, of course you can. 619. That's Pasta. Pasta might as well be sponsored by Ike's, okay? We got a Matt Cain. We got, a Bumgardner. There is every sandwich under the sun that has an athlete's name next to it. Can we please get Steven Risotto up on that board at some point? Because this guy basically keeps Ike's in business. I swear to God, every time I see him. Steven, how many times over/under out of the 7 days? Let's put the number at 5.5. 5.5 Ike's sandwiches a week.
It's a little bit under. It might even be about 3.5.
No chance.
If it was 3.5, I'd take the over. 5.5 is too strong, but we got to get Ike on the show. He would do it too. I have a direct line to Mr. Ike Shahada.
He's a real guy.
He's a real guy. Yeah, the guy on the logo that is Ike.
I just need your guy from Press Box Chronicles.
Jeff Pearlman, we could get him on
Christmas.
too.
Oh, he's going to be on Christmas Eve for a good 3.5 hours. Tell him.
Can you believe this? By the way, we were talking about this in the media room yesterday. So Pasta has
a media room.
Well, it's actually the Jim Barnett media room.
Oh, awesome!
That the Chase
Shout out Jim Barnett.
Yeah, legend. So we're talking about some people that have joined the exclusive club, which is the Rizzo Cast. And that is Pasta's own personal podcast. It's booming. Subscribe, download, rate, wherever you get your podcasts. And I'm looking at the list of guests that this guy has had because, a few of them are... This guy does some deep dive journalism. There's no doubt about it. And I'm wondering, why can't we get on that thing?
Oh, yeah.
Pasta.
Okay.
We don't cut the mustard?
Evan has been on the list. Dan actually said he does not do podcasts last time I asked.
Well, that's true. I have our buddy who asked me to go on Locked On Sports, and now I freeze him out.
See, it wouldn't be that type of thing. We talk about your prowess and your career and just all the accomplishments.
So technically, do you have the ability to get all three of us on?
Sure.
Oh, let's do it. All right.
Well, in that case, Pasta. So in the next segment, what we're going to do is just roll on it, and you interview us, and we'll do a live taping of the Rizzo Cast.
Perfect.
Okay, I got you. This is kind of what you wanted to talk about. For today's Warriors show, again, this is like early in the morning, so I don't know how late some of these people are up texting in, but I appreciate it because they have passion for the Golden State Warriors. Are we sure Jimmy Butler is a max player? I like him.
Great call.
But, ... a.k.a. ellipses, I want more from him. Him, by the way, with a capital H, all the time. Thank you, 510. Just getting us kick-started with these great ideas.
Great place to start. I couldn't agree with him more. What is it? 55 million a year?
No. Like, the answer is no. Yeah, he's making close. I think he's a
53, 50. He's top 5. He's top 5 in the NBA. He's got to be. He's got to be top 5. Top 3.
Yeesh. $55.5 million.
For that?
Scored 15 points.
I need more. I'm with this guy. So, remember Jimmy Butler after the trade, post-trade? Just take your brain there. And remember it was all about him, and he would slow down the team. He'd get to the free throw line. He'd get to his spot. He'd go ISO. He was becoming like the number one option for a while there. And it was so distinct with his presence now on that basketball team. And you could clearly see how the Golden State Warriors had changed overnight with the addition of Jimmy Butler. And he had such an impact. That guy was worth maxing out. That guy, if you're going to pay someone $55 million a year to play in the NBA, I would pay him if I could afford it and it fits and you do all the numbers, you crunch the numbers. That version of Jimmy Butler, I would have contemplated paying. This guy, not so much. What happened to that version of Jimmy Butler? What we're getting now is, yes, he's not bad. He's playing well, but it's not reminiscent of that guy that almost single-handedly dragged them to the postseason a year ago.
Well, that's the thing that I honestly struggle with is because across the board, would you be shocked if I told you that all of Jimmy Butler's statistics, or at least the majority of the notable ones, are better than they were in the 30 games he played with the Warriors last year? He's averaging more points. He's shooting better from the floor. He's shooting markedly better from three-point range. I know he missed a free throw last night late, but he's shooting 85% from the stripe. He's averaging slightly more rebounds, slightly less assists, and he's getting about the same steals and blocks. Like he's he's doing it in 1.5 less minutes per game. And, oh, by the way, he's, by Jimmy Butler standards, he's been pretty healthy. So I'm with you. Like, the eye test, especially watching last night, tells me that there's something, and I was kind of trying to figure it out last night after the game. Like, what is it about Jimmy Butler that leaves me feeling like I'm just wanting more? Because I'm looking at the paper, and the box score is telling me one thing, and my eyes are telling me something else.
Well, that's the problem with when you look at numbers and you look at statistics and you're analyzing or passing judgment on a player in any professional sport these days. It doesn't do you justice, and it doesn't tell the complete story. In terms of the tempo, in terms of him, quote unquote, taking over a game, and what's this, there's no stat to sort of measure that, where he just literally takes the air out of the ball, clears aside, and changes the entire complexion of your basketball team by getting to the line. And when you're getting those points, you can get a lot of inconsequential baskets and have your numbers round out and look respectable. I need numbers like last night when you got within a 1, Jimmy Butler then takes the game over and scores, the majority of his points in crunch time, and thus you win a game. Like, I don't care what it is you did in the first quarter when you had some opportunities or some bunnies in close. It's when you score. It's dictating tempo. It's all those. It's sort of the minutia that you can't necessarily calculate that he's not doing this year.
I'm kind of with you, and I want to explore this more as we kind of get into it, and we want some help as well. 888-957-9570. Again, the number is 888-957-9570. This is Warriors This Week with Evan Giddings and Dan Devone. Where are people at with Jimmy Butler? I think the game last night, and you touched on it, the end of the game specifically, it just leaves you wanting a little more. Is that fair? Is that foul? Kind of where are you at right now with him? Where are you at right now with the Warriors as they stand at 13-13? We'll talk about that when we come back. All ahead on 95.7 The Game.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in the Bay Area. And our more than 110 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Elevate your kitchen at the Mila Innovation Center at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill. Out of your dreams and into your kitchen. Select the qualifying built-in kitchen appliance package that is right for you. With unrivaled technology and luxury-grade quality, when you bring home a Mila, you're bringing home true innovation. Now, for a limited time, save up to 10% with the purchase of a qualifying Mila kitchen package. Visit the Mila Innovation Center at Friedman's Appliance in Pleasant Hill or at friedmansappliance.com.
Xfinity is the network you can rely on. Like a close friend who never lies. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through December 21st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Reliable Legal Marketing.
Attention California residents. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, including chronic lymphocytic leukemia, a common subtype, is one of the most common cancers in the United States. If you or loved one was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or chronic lymphocytic leukemia and were exposed to Roundup weed killer, you could be entitled to cash compensation. Bayer, the owner of Roundup, has agreed to pay more than $10 billion to cancer victims linked to the weed killer. Call our Weed Killer Cancer Hotline now to see if you're entitled to cash compensation. If you or someone someone you love has been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or chronic lymphocytic leukemia and were exposed to Roundup, call now. Our attorneys have the experience and specialize in fighting for everyday people to get the compensation you deserve. If you or a loved one was diagnosed, even if a loved one has passed away, call 800-341-4933 now. But hurry, time is limited. Call 800-341-4933. 800-341-4933.
Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Will Trial Law, LLC, 1001 Bannock Street, Denver, Colorado, 80204.
Hi, I'm John with Jack's Restaurant and Bar. My brothers and I recorded our first commercial a while back. It got a little chaotic, so I'm here today.
What's going on here, bro?
Are
you recording a commercial without us?
Guys, no, I'm just trying
to what? Take all the credit for our half-pound all-natural burgers?
Or the best fish and chips
or
around?
7 mac and cheeses and 14 sandwiches, including a French dip that will change your life?
Or homemade meatloaf, pot roast, and next-level lamb
or that
chops?
People can order takeout and delivery by visiting ilovejacks.com?
Guys, no, I'm
just went behind our backs.
I knew he would.
Wait till we tell Mom.
Oh, please don't tell Mom.
Real family, great food, ilovejacks.com.
Upway.co delivers premium e-bikes for riders who want power, speed, and top performance without paying full retail. Shop leading brands like Aventon, Trek, Specialized, Cannondale, Turn, and more, all up to 60% off in new or like new condition. Electric Assist turns climbs and long routes into effortless rides. Each e-bike is fully inspected, refurbished, and certified by our U.S. master mechanics, backed by a 1-year warranty and 14-day return policy. Fast delivery gets your e-bike to your door in just a few days. Discover more at upway.co.
Getting more as a MyLowe's Pro Rewards member is easier than ever with the Lowe's app. Download it today and earn 500 points the first time you log in. Plus, your digital wallet helps you scan, save, earn, and access what you need to manage it all in one place. Download the Lowe's app and take advantage of your Pro benefits today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid 12/1/25 through 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login per organization only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Additional restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Excuse me, can you tell me where?
I don't know. Those big box stores, they don't know. But Dolan's knows. For 60 years, Dolan's Lumber has been serving the Bay Area with the materials and the knowledge to make your next home improvement project stellar. Lumber, doors, windows, you name it. Dolan's knows exactly what you need. So skip the guessing. Go with the experts. Remember, Dolan's knows. Call now for a quote. 800-9-DOLANS or visit DolanLumber.com.
I thought I was in control.
I was wrong.
I just didn't realize.
I was that drunk.
I was that high.
I should never have driven.
DUI. Lost my job.
My family.
My everything.
Don't be the I in DUI.
In 2023, 1,355 people were killed in alcohol-related crashes throughout California. Driving under the influence of anything is dangerous, illegal, and has serious consequences. Go safely, California.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com. The Game. Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
Yeah, the Warriors had a chance. Look, Minnesota started out on a 12-5 stretch, kind of, I think, really boosted by a 17-0 run. Warriors could not score the basketball. Curry comes back in, and they make it a game. In fact, they had a lead. I mean, they were up. They had a lead 117-114 in the fourth quarter. And Dante DiVincenzo, the big ragu, comes down.
He crushed him.
Knocks down a huge three-pointer. I think that preceded the Quentin Post miss in the corner. I mean, Quentin Post, like, you ever play, I don't know, you ever play a sport you just have too much time to do whatever it is you're doing? That was Post. He gets it in the corner.
You knew that was coming. Setting his feet, just shoot the ball.
Well, at least, pound dribble, something. It just felt like he was thinking about the moment for like 5 seconds and then puts it up, misses, and then
I want to go back to that play.
A couple plays later, again, Dante DiVincenzo kills you.
Yeah, Dante DiVincenzo, I think it was that first three, and I think, the one you're referring to.
The one to tie the game at 117.
That was a backbreaker. And then, of course, the one he hit out of the corner sealed.
They're both tough shots.
Sealed.
Too.
Really, though? I don't think the first one was an uncontested three, and I think Steve Kerr mentioned as much in his post-game comments, like, we didn't defend down the stretch. And I think he pointed out that Dante DiVincenzo three because he had a good look on the angle. Yes, it's a three in a big pressure moment, and he nailed it. But you got to get out on that. You have to chase him off the line or extend. And nobody should be getting a good look like that late in the game. Well, I think that Kerr had an issue with that.
Well, he should have, but
the corner three he hit to seal it was, I wouldn't say well defended, but Moody put an arm up and went out at him.
I mean, both of them are clutch shots. Like those are shots that the Warriors,
but you got to contest
more often than not this year have not been able to make. Why I thought that was a tough one was because he went fast. Like he got right up the court. He took that shot within 9 seconds of Moses making that quick two. Remember, because like Moses gets the turnover, puts it in. And then DiVincenzo just sprints down the floor to take that three. And that's why to me it was almost a backbreaker. It's because you finally get the lead. You have a 3-point advantage and boom. DiVincenzo just does not let you get a hold of it. I also thought that the Warriors as a whole looked a little bit tired down the stretch. Butler missed a free throw. Curry missed a free throw. Post obviously missed the one from the corner that really hurts you. That would have put you up 2 with 1:02 left in the game. And then Steph missed a long one at the end there that could have tied the game. But, it's like the Timberwolves, though they didn't have Ant, like they knew who they were going to down the stretch of that game. DiVincenzo closed out the game for him. And the Warriors, outside of Steph, I thought he might have ran out of gas, but also, too, it's like he had 12 points in the fourth quarter. He had 23 in the second half. And every single time it gets into a clutch situation, it just feels like they're looking at number 30 to say, bail us out.
Yeah, I don't know that Minnesota knew that they were going to go to Dante DiVincenzo. You would think that it would be Julius Randle in that moment, but they were opportunistic, right? And I think it gets back to what it is that Steve Kerr talked about. He said our transitional defense was really bad. And so it's exactly on the heels of what it is that you just said. The Warriors get that bucket, but they don't get back in transition. And here's DiVincenzo who gets a good look at a three that, boom, ties the game. And I just think that they were opportunistic. They took what it is that the defense provided them. And they're not so one-dimensional. You would have Randall break it down and then give it up to Gobert, and the Warriors just did not have the bodies or the height or the talent in terms of a front court to defend the bigs of that of Minnesota.
Well, that's, again, a place that we often come back to is just personnel. The Warriors are a small team. The Warriors are going to play Portland tomorrow, who's beaten them twice, I think largely because they just got a lot of athletes. And the Timberwolves, even though they didn't have their best player, Randall's been a number one before. He's a guy who can score 30 points. Naz Reid feels like he could score 30 points against the Warriors. He always kills them. But, they had enough dudes. I thought in the fourth quarter, like they had done a good job. And again, we were talking earlier about sometimes where the box score lies. I thought they'd done a good job of not allowing the Wolves' size to really hurt them. At the end of the game, you look up and you say, All right, well, it's a 44-42 rebounding advantage for Minnesota. The Warriors must have rebounded well. Not in the fourth quarter. I mean, Rudy Gobert, again, he's 7 feet tall. They got athletes everywhere. McDaniels has got positional size, and they're trying to guard them with, Moses deserved to close last night, but, it's like I love Melt. He's a good player, but he's 6'3". Curry's 6'3". Last night's a night we're not having Draymond or God, even Horford might have hurt you. But again, what are we really talking about if we're just asking for another couple of 6'6" or 6'9" guys?
Well, I don't think Rudy Gobert goes 24-11 with Draymond Green.
I agree.
Draymond Green makes a point of it to stymie that guy. And he gets into his body, and there's something there. I think even Rudy Gobert will admit that psychologically, if Draymond Green's on the floor, he ain't going double-double and having the sort of impact late in the game as he did, because he was getting his buckets, putbacks, and right around the rim, and Draymond's not letting him do that. So I think the absence of Draymond, at least for a game last night, because of the size and specifically when it comes to Rudy Gobert, was very, very evident.
Well, but I also think that's a little bit why it's a little bit why there's a problem, because they're so tied to each player for different things. And then you look across and you're seeing Minnesota, who Anthony Edwards is a top 10 player. Right. They don't have him, and they still find a way. I mean, they basically ran a 6-man rotation last night. Dillingham played 17. Jalen Clark played 17. Bones Highland started the game and wasn't seen from again. But they played Randall McDaniels, Gobert DiVincenzo, and Naz Reid. Well, and I guess Terrence Shannon Jr. But you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so the Warriors miss Draymond defensively. I agree with that. But is their defense completely tied to one player? When Steph's not out there, their offense obviously suffers. Okay, they're completely tied to one player to score. And both of those players are beyond the age of 36. It's just they're so dependent on these older stars. Then you look around the league, and the Warriors have had now, I think it's 4 losses to teams that haven't had their stars. And that's a big reason why it's going to be hard to climb in the standings, and why I think having a chance to win last night makes it sting all the more.
They just don't have the depth. They have bodies, but they don't have, as we have talked about, they've got a bunch of young players, but none of them have taken that proverbial step that we thought they had the potential to be somebody who could be a reliant, maybe third scorer. And sometimes it's Moody, sometimes it's Podziemski, but there is no consistency there. You know what jumped out at me of Minnesota is one of the bigger teams in the NBA, but the Warriors continue to play small. And they remind me of my mom. My mom, bless her heart, still uses an encyclopedia. Like, she does not use a phone, or she's like so old school. Like, there's people out there that are still, I don't know, using a rotary phone. Meanwhile, that's the Warriors. Meanwhile, what is it? What are we at now? The iPhone 17 is out. Does this predate you guys? Do you remember MySpace?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's people, like, that's the Warriors are still.
You guys would have been in my top 8.
Warriors are still doing MySpace, and the rest of the world is now, TikTok.
Wait, Pasta, you don't know what MySpace is?
I know what it is, but it was before me.
All right.
What was the first social media platform that you got into?
When I was 12 or 13, I got Twitter.
Oh my God!
Oh, this was like 2 years ago.
So I was corrupted very early on.
It's now X. There's been a big development.
I still call it Twitter.
That's fair.
But that's the Warriors. They're MySpace, because the league now is bigger, and they're not playing. And I heard Steve Kerr say this last night. I couldn't believe it. He's like, listen, the NBA is played 5 out, and you shoot the threes. I don't think it is anymore, Steve. I really don't. And he could probably, tell me that I'm wrong and be obviously right, because he knows more basketball than I do. I'm just seeing what it is that I see. And what was so funny about last night is Dante DiVincenzo. We talked about him hitting the back-breaking threes. When you see Dante DiVincenzo with Minnesota, does he not stick out like a sore thumb, like a little white dude on a really big, talented basketball team? He's like so small. You put him on the Golden State Warriors, and he just fits right in. There's like 9 of them that are like 6'2". You know how many Warrior guards play?
A lot.
8.
Well, not last night. Not all of them played.
No, and here's another one for Steve Kerr.
No, I think I know where you're going, and I'm with you.
Will Richard? What are we thinking here?
Well, this is my problem is, okay, if you're really going to trim the rotation, which is, I get it, right? Curry's coming back. There's less minutes to go around. And when Draymond comes back, there's going to be even less minutes. But your goal is to play the proverbial hot hand, right? You're trying to figure out who your top 11 is. I'm sorry, the guy was just starting. Last night, he probably could have helped you.
Of course he could have helped you.
I mean, I'm just, and God love Pat Spencer, but I don't, I understand what Kerr wanted to reward these guys, but to me it's like, okay, Spencer is best served as a point guard, a backup point guard. Okay, so that means who should start there? To me, that's Will Richard. And I know he may not have been the difference in the game, but to me it's like the messaging of, okay, well, if you're going to play the hot hand, this guy's been starting for the better part of 3 weeks. And does he play 30 minutes a night? No. But I think he makes a difference. And it was strange for me to see him shake up the rotation so much to the point where Richard goes from starting to being benched. And I know he's done that before with someone like Kaminga, but to me that makes a little more sense because Kaminga's not giving him what he wants. In my opinion, Will Richard has done everything that he's asked for, and he still got DMP-CD last night.
Mixed messages. I'm with you there.
I thought that was weird.
Didn't make a lot of sense. Not to mention, in a game like that, I think he plays beyond his 6'3". Like, he's a guy that will give you rebounds.
He's a wing on this team.
Yeah, but I mean, he's springy. He's a guy that's high energy, and he likes to get inside, and he can mix it up. He'll pull his rebounds. He's disruptive defensively. It's exactly what you needed when you were undermanned against Minnesota. That didn't make any sense to me. But when I think of, again, getting back to the Warriors that are so guard dominant, 8 of those dudes. And DiVincenzo would just fit right in. He would just look like another guy.
He'd actually be one of the bigger ones.
Meanwhile, in Minnesota, it's like he stands out. Like if they were to take one of those school photos, those class pictures, you're like, oh, God, Dante DiVincenzo. Yeah, there he is right there. He's like 2 feet taller than everybody else.
Well, he's an athlete. I guess because of his complexion, people don't always think that, but like Dante DiVincenzo's pretty freaking fast. He's quick. And all of his, and it's not just him, but I think all of opponents, any athletic attribute that you have immediately gets noticed when you play Golden State because of their lack of athleticism. So when DiVincenzo is speeding up the floor or is, leaping and finishing or trying to crash in for an offensive rebound, doing some of those things that he can do, it's like, wow, where's the Warriors' Dante DiVincenzo? And not him specifically, but it's just like, where's that kind of guy on their team? Because they don't really have one. They're like last night, I felt like they were just kind of cobbled together. And Kerr trying to play, what last night felt like? Last night felt like last year after the 12-3 stretch. They were playing 13 guys. It was all well and good. They were mixing and matching, and the puzzle pieces were fitting. And then after that, they went 3-12 and plummeted back to 500 because the puzzle wasn't fitting. Pieces were not where they were supposed to be. He wasn't getting consistent production from guys. Kerr wasn't. He wasn't picking the right dudes, the right lineups. It just wasn't working. That's what last night felt like. It was just, all right, well, we're going to try this rotation. And immediately it was like he went away from it. Hield was starting. Okay, well, you couldn't play Buddy because he wasn't very good last night after the first quarter. You look at who else. He went away from Spencer at the end, who started in that game. DeAnthony Melton can only play 20 minutes. Okay, so we got to find something else. Pods played 22. Moody played 22, but he closed. He goes to Guy Santos for a couple of minute stretches to get some energy in there to give Jimmy some rest. It's like, to me, the game plan last night was, let's figure it out on the fly. And that's just not going to work against a team like Minnesota.
Yeah, it's reminiscent to a year ago because remember they were going 13 deep. And what is it? We made this analogy last week, sort of like that in football. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. If you're playing 13 guys, it means you have no bench that you can rely on. And I think that when Butler came on board, he solidified all of that. All of a sudden, the rotation got shrunk, and you sort of had more of an idea. There was more of a structure. as far who was going to play. And then when it came to 6 through 9, you knew sort of an idea of who the Warriors were as far as their identity is concerned. Right now, you're right. Who knows? It goes from one game to the next. And there is an athlete on this team, but he doesn't play.
Well, it's true.
Which is really odd because you have one athlete and he's getting DMP'd. And I'm not advocating that he should play, but to answer your question, there is an athlete. He just doesn't take his warm-ups off.
He didn't get his butt off the bench last night either. I mean, he was just in a warm-up shirt the entire game. Obviously, we're talking about the guy who, due to this dollar jar here, we're not allowed to mention. Otherwise, we got to put a buck in the...
Who started that? I'll tell you whether I adhere to this silly jar.
So the boss actually...
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, all right. I'm on board.
No, he started it yesterday. I'll put a buck in here. It's the Jonathan Kaminga jar. So the boss started it yesterday because... I don't know if it was the morning show or someone was arguing about him, as things tend to go. And so Steiny and Goo come in yesterday, and they're arguing about who talks about him more.
I love those two.
Who brings JK up more? So it wasn't in the studio yet, so I just walked out and said, you know what, in order to decide
they didn't do that on the air.
No, I brought it in because I'm like, you guys keep arguing about something that we're never going to be able to figure out unless you actually have to put money in this jar. I think right now there's $3 and I'll add another one.
So what was the answer? I'm assuming we're talking about...
Well, after that, it made him shut up real quick.
No, but I'm assuming they were talking about talent here at 95.7 The Game or shows, right?
No. They were talking about just them.
Oh, between the two of them?
Between the two of them.
Oh, I thought they were talking about, does Willard and Dibbs talk more about JK, or is it...
That would be interesting. I don't know if we had a... What's it, TSL? Time spent listening? TSK? Time spent Kamingaing? Talking about Kaminga?
So how did they resolve between Steiny and Guru?
Well, immediately once money was involved, they both stopped talking about him, which I think is kind of funny.
But before?
Oh, before?
I'm out. Is it Guru?
No, they both do it.
Okay.
One just complains about him, that's Steiny, and then the other
was wrong.
Then the other asks questions about him, which is Guru. All right, 888-957-9570.
He's such a non-factor now. Like, we can take a call. But
no, he's not playing.
But even if he was playing, like, we've seen him play. Like, to me, I would get into this whole conversation. Right now, it's like, I don't really care whether he's playing or not because he's just, I know what to expect. 5 years of this
Like,
now.
they don't win the game if he plays last night. I do wonder about Will Richard because he's been helping you.
No, that's apples and bowling balls.
To me, that was, I haven't heard that one. That's pretty good. Yeah, to me, that was confusing as hell. I did not get that one whatsoever. Not a single minute. All right, let's get out to the phone lines. We got some people who want to chat. Let's go to kick us off here today on Warriors This Week. Let's go to Austin in San Jose, our guy. What's up, Good morning, man. How you doing?
What's up? Good morning, guys. Good morning, Dan and E. Listen, great conversation. The game last night, honestly, was very entertaining. The Warriors didn't win, but I enjoyed the game up until the end. Steph was, of course, Steph, and if you really watched the game, I thought somebody said earlier, one of you guys said earlier, it was really about Steph. I mean, even doing the third quarter stuff, I mean, it was all the rotations, guys running around, and they were all get the ball back to Steph, and you have him shoot, this is what you do. You get the ball to Steph. And so the team is really, really one-dimensional, and more so this year than I think I've seen in a long time, honestly, because they don't really have anybody number two, and that kind of quickly brings me to the comments about the great Jimmy Butler. I think you guys know I've never been a real Jimmy Butler fan for a lot of reasons, but I do recognize the guy's really good. I mean, but he's not a number two anymore, in my opinion. He's not the Miami Jimmy, so we need to stop. Warrior fans, want to believe that this is the Jimmy that played all those great games in Miami, but he's not that guy anymore. I don't think he's a number two. I think that's the problem with the Warriors right now. They don't really have a number two. Jimmy's more of a number three now. So the question becomes, after Steph, can they get a number two? They should have already developed that number two, and I keep saying that, and that's the miss with whether you say Jonathan Kaminga isn't the guy. Everybody wants to say he isn't, but then, okay, if he's not, then where's the solution? Where is the solution coming from? Rather than spending time telling everybody what Jonathan isn't, why don't you go get the guy that is? So they need to get a number two. I think the Warriors have no shot. And I heard Nick Friedel, Nick has really changed. Somebody's got to Nick Friedel. He's really top 4, top 5 for the Warriors. I mean, I used to think that Nick was the guy that I had a voice of reason. Now, man, he's really gone soft. I don't know what's going on with Nick, but to say that they're the top 4 or 5, how can they be a top 4 or 5 with that roster? And then a couple things on Spencer. I love the energy. I love the story, but having Spencer start, come on, guys. I mean, you're not beating the good teams in the league. Certainly Western Conference. You guys keep talking about the Western Conference. There's some damn good teams in the Eastern Conference this year that I think Warriors will struggle with. So at the end of the day, just a couple things for me. The roster construction still remains a big issue. Steve Kerr, I'm going to just say it, has no idea of what he's doing right now. I don't see any kind of consistency. There's no chemistry. He's running too many lineups. In the NBA, you can't get away with that, guys. Even in college, you can't do that. College teams don't do what Steve's doing. So I have no idea what Steve's doing. Then the final thing, trade deadline. Guys, I want to hear what you guys think, because there better be somebody or somebody coming in. I would frankly trade half the roster, the bench roster for me. I would trade half of them. I would do what LeBron James did a couple years ago in Lakers. They literally traded half the roster and made the playoffs. I would do that if I were the Warriors. But listen, guys, enjoy the show. I'll keep listening. Thank you.
Thanks, Austin. Appreciate the call, man. Good stuff,
the only
always.
difference is the Warriors don't have a young Julius Randle and Lonzo Ball and D'Angelo Russell, all those guys who are, LeBron's like, package these guys, get them the hell out, and get me somebody so we can get to a tie.
I'm not sure if he's talking about that trade that brought in Anthony Davis or the one that...
Oh, he's probably referring to AD.
No. I think he's talking about the one... It was the year that he's
done it so many times.
Well, exactly. But they beat the Warriors in the second round of the playoffs, I think in 23. And that was the year where I want to say they used Westbrook's contract to go get like Jared Vanderbilt and a bunch of kind of role players.
Hachimura, I think was part of that.
Who defensively and otherwise sort of helped them. But they were big. They were wings. The issue is the Lakers had a contract along with, and the Warriors have draft capital, but I don't know if they have a contract to go out and get a bunch of those kinds of guys. Because Westbrook at the time was making like $50 million.
Well, they got $20 million they can play with.
They do, and this is like, we can get into it on the other side.
So you're not going to get a star, but you can get somebody for $20 million. And if you making the numbers back, I'm with him. I think if there's going to be a trade, I think it's going to involve 4 or 5 Warriors, including obviously Kaminga.
They have to condense this team. Like you cannot play. To me, if you're running out 11 or 12 guys, it's because you don't know who your best 8 are, and that's as much on Kerr as it is on the front office, and that's something we can talk about on the other side because we got to hit a break. All right, Warriors This Week continues after this on 95.7 The Game. Evan Giddings, Dan Devone. We'll see you on the other side.
This is the sound of Claire cooking dinner at home. And that's the sound of a fraud alert from Wells Fargo, flagging a charge for a pricey restaurant in Paris. Considering Claire isn't in Paris right now, that seemed odd to the bank and to Claire. 2 taps later, Claire says nope to the charge, and Wells Fargo is on the case. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
With T-Mobile, we don't miss out on any family fiestas.
Hola, mija, ¿cómo quedó el mole?
It turned out great.
This holiday, switch to T-Mobile and stay connected with los tuyos. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with no trade-in needed, plus 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store at T-Mobile.com or call 1-800-T-Mobile. With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials. For well-qualified customers with auto-pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits and imbalance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $800 required. Not for extended international use. You must reside in the U.S. and primary usage must occur on our network. Visit T-Mobile.com.
95.7 The Game and Great Clips have teamed up for the new basketball season. We want our listeners to look fresh with a great haircut from Great Clips. Each week, we'll pick a lucky winner to score a gift card. For a chance to win, courtesy of Great Clips, enter online at 957thegame.com.
In a world of endless scrolling and skipping, podcasts are where real attention lives. With Odyssey Digital Services, your brand doesn't just advertise, it becomes part of the conversation. From true crime to health, business to sports, we connect your message with listeners who trust the voices in their ears and take action. It's not just ads, it's storytelling that converts. Ready to grow your brand? Partner with the Odyssey Podcast Network and be heard where it matters most. Contact us today at sfdigital@odyssey.com.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only. Television sales on Black Friday set new records as millions of Americans snapped up the hot deals. But a lot of people were out of town or too busy to take advantage of the special pricing. So, how about a redo? Right now, you've got a second chance to save big on many of the top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs. Where? At Video Only, where the smart shoppers go. So, don't miss out. Check out Video Only now, or
you'll be sorry.
Hey, it's your boy Guru. Every time we put a rat on the table during our show, it's brought to you by Atco Pest Control. Atco Pest Control is a family-owned local business proud to provide pest control in the Bay Area for over 35 years. Atco uses natural methods to give you a peace of mind and keep your family out of harm's way. Quality pest control doesn't have to empty your savings either. Don't wait. Go to atcopestcontrol.com for all your pest control needs. They got you covered.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Reliable Legal Marketing.
Attention California residents. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, including chronic lymphocytic leukemia, a common subtype, is one of the most common cancers in the United States. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or chronic lymphocytic leukemia and were exposed to Roundup weed killer, you could be entitled to cash compensation. Bayer, the owner of Roundup, has agreed to pay more than $10 billion to cancer victims linked to the weed killer. Call our Weed Killer Cancer Hotline now to see if you're entitled to cash compensation. If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma or chronic lymphocytic leukemia and were exposed to Roundup, call now. Our attorneys have the experience and specialize in fighting for everyday people to get the compensation you deserve. If you or a loved one was diagnosed, even if a loved one has passed away, call 800-341-4933 now. But hurry, time is limited. Call 800-341-4933. 800-341-4933.
Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Will Trial Law, LLC, 1001 Bannock Street, Denver, Colorado, 80204.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Big flavor doesn't have to break the bank. Smash Burger's $4.99 all the time menu is here to stay. Try crave-worthy favorites. You're a bite away from believing. For your chance to win a Smash Burger gift card, courtesy of Smash Burger, visit 957thegame.com.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10, $20, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-999-3339. That's 800-999-3339. Again, that's 800-999-3339.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
Evan Giddings and Dan DeVoe. Stephen Risotto behind the glass.
Check that. Howard Giddings.
Howard Giddings. Yeah, I don't know. It's got a nice little ring to it. I don't know how my mom would feel about it, but...
It can be your stage name. It can still be Evan to mom and dad.
I got to start going by Howie?
Well, no, not Howie.
I knew a Howie. Imagine what a Howie looks like. And that, I didn't get that one.
I don't get half of them.
I don't get that.
At this point, you just roll with it.
But that's exactly what the Howie looked like. He was like an 86-year-old man who wore these jeans like up to his nipples with a tucked-in polo shirt and these bifocals. And I'm like, that's what a Howie in my mind looks like.
Well, there's Howie Long.
Yeah, and
there's Howie Mandel.
That's true. It's pretty good. Howie Mandel's. I don't know how I feel about that guy. I saw an interview where
he's weird. He's he suffers from that disease where he's a germaphobe.
Oh, well, it didn't have to do with that. It had to do with the fact that on his podcast, he'll take liberties. You know, he'll kind of spring stuff on certain guests that they don't necessarily want out there. And I don't really know how I feel about that. Oh, he does look great for a 7-year-old. I'll give him that. Pasta, by the way. I think you have just figured out what the Warriors need. And I'm going to run this by my guy, Dan. We need an initiation. Like, there's so many Warriors that are bidding for spots. We need some sort of team building activity. You ever like in college, you ever go through like an initiation? You know, some people call it hazing, and that's neither here nor there.
So, like, I fall backwards and I trust that you're going to catch me?
Yeah, but the adult version of whatever that is. You know, you go through an initiation, right? You take the city together. You make the rookies go out and, you know, you throw popcorn in their... They do it at the end of the year. They need to start doing it now. They need to start doing that now to get these guys involved and just to bring the team together because they're kind of disconnected right now. I think an initiation... Which, by the way, we could also use here at 95.7 The Game. An initiation might be the thing to sort of connect the Dubs.
I don't know if you're being serious right now, but that might be your worst take in the history of 95.7 The Game since Howard Giddings arrived here.
Well, that's why I'm trying to throw you off the Howard thing. If I give you out these bad takes as Howard Giddings, you might stop calling me that.
Do you remember when we first met? You were the first guy I met, my first show here.
You got lost?
I was lost.
Well, that place was a labyrinth. I'm not going to lie.
And I remember you came out and met me, and you said, "Hey, I'm Evan, and I'm a producer here. Let me show you to the studios." I'm like, "Hey." Oh, we caught an elevator together, and we made small talk. And I'm like, "Yes, what do you got going on? What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, I did some minor league baseball, and I'm hoping to go." I remember you dropped some podunk city that you were like, "That's where I think I'll be in a month or so." I mean, you were packing your bags, and you were doing the Texas two-step in some very random towns.
Like Stockton?
No, you were going, this is back in the day. Anyways.
Well, at the time I might have been applying to, where would that have been? Oh, well, I was offered the Bowie Bay Sox job, which was...
The Bowie Bay Sox?
Yeah.
Where's that?
They're the Orioles AA team.
Oh, wow.
In Bowie, Maryland. It's right outside of Baltimore.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but
crab cakes?
Well, there's levels to this. Like, it's not a great organization. It was kind of one of these podunk places. It's a lot better now, and I know the guys that work in the Easter League there. But there's various positions. Like I was willing to bet on myself in this market more than I was willing to bet on myself in a market that I didn't know. Kind of like you were talking about before with your boy from Hawaii who thought that his pigeon was going to get him to the big time in the mainland. You have to sort of know where you fit. And I felt like my talent was better suited for the West Coast.
Well, I guess that's what I was trying to say, is that it was a wise career decision on your part to stay here.
Well, it also means I get to work with you.
That's right. Now go ahead and sort of wind this thing back to the Golden State Warriors, and I'm just going to be quiet for the next 5 seconds because I don't think you can.
I'm going to take a call. That's how we're going to get back on the Warriors at 888-957-9570. Postica, please go to Scott, who's in Berkeley, wants to talk about the Dubs.
Oh, Scotty.
Scott, what's up, man? How you doing?
Morning, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, fantastic.
When you were in the last segment, when you were talking about the Warriors needed Dante DiVincenzo, I wanted to say, well, they had him in 22-23.
They did.
But, I woke up this morning and I was, of course, online. And I saw, I think it was on SI.com where they were talking, the Warriors Wire, and they were talking about the Warriors are suddenly showing their interest in, of all people, Trey Murphy III. It seems to me somebody said something about that a few weeks ago.
Was that you, Scotty?
Yeah, that was me. So I want my dap. but
I'll dap you through the phone. How about that?
Yeah, thank you very much. My thing now is that, okay, if you're now beginning to talk, Trey for that guy that you have to pay $1 to mention, my thing suddenly becomes, okay, what else can you get out of the Pels?
Mm.
And
you like Herb?
Then possibly Herb. How about Grand Theft Alvarado?
I could see that.
I mean, I would love it. I would love a 4-minute sequence where GP2 and Jose are on the floor together. Just because that one works for me. But then again, I was also watching this week, and Bobby Marks was coming up with that weird 5-team deal where they got Porzingis, and I was kind of going through that, and it's like I can't fathom that because on one side, yes. You have to deal with Uncle Al and his age, but the other side of it is Porzingis ever going to be healthy?
No.
So that's, that the only other possibility I came up with, I guess, in my head would be trying to get one of the 55 million wingmen out of Toronto.
Mm.
Would Toronto put Ingram in a deal? I don't know if that's possible. Could you get Grady Dick out of there? Something's going to give, and I think that's got to face it. And right now I think I'm openly down for Trey Murphy and Grand Theft. So, all right, fellas, I'll talk to you next week.
I got you, Scott. Thanks for the call, man. Yeah, I mean, what they need is I like Alvarado. He's a fine player, but they don't need another guard. And I think what Scott is also saying.
And now you're getting even smaller.
Yeah, I mean, he's a player. I like the idea of Murphy and Herb Jones, obviously. I think I read from Jake Fisher, who actually saw last night at the Warriors game, the report is that the Pelicans are not, and this is the thing too, like they're not going to just move either Trey Murphy. Herb Jones might cost you less, but they don't want to move one of those wings that are so highly coveted, and even though they're not very good, they want to build around. If anything, I think that the Pelicans, because of the emergence of their first round pick Derek Queen, who looks like he looks like a really good player.
He's got a weird game, man.
Yeah, he's kind of like a non-athletic Zion.
It's like a Şengün sort of type.
Yeah, he's slow, but he plays with purpose. He's got good touch.
Yeah, he can pass, man.
Yeah, he's already a triple-double threat. I think he had 33, 11, and 10 against the Spurs the other week, last weekend. So, does that mean Zion's on the table? Maybe. But the Warriors aren't in a position where they can, I don't think, and why I'm out on Porzingis too, they can't make a trade for another guy who is either old or injury prone. And I think it was Austin who said it in the last segment, and I kind of agree with him. What they're really looking for to me is another number 2, which is what they were looking for last year, and they got it. But either because of Jimmy can't do it consistently enough, or maybe they just need a better number 2 perhaps at this point. That to me is what's going to allow everything else to fall into place, because the biggest problem I have with the Warriors right now, and I think what's also impacting Kerr's inability to figure out what works right now, is everyone has to play up a slot. Like Jimmy Butler might be a 3 at this stage in his career, but he has to be a 2. Pat Spencer is certainly playing above what he should be right now, which is a backup point guard, because he just started the last 3 games. The only player that's properly placed on this team is Steph Curry, and everybody just looks to him to bail them out because they have to do more than what they're capable of right now. And that's where you end up against Minnesota, just overwhelmed.
When it comes to Trey Murphy, you'd love to have him, but the Warriors aren't alone. There's a lot of teams that are in the market for Trey Murphy that I think have more capital than whatever it is that the Warriors are offering. And again, I'm with you. If I'm New Orleans, it's got to make sense for me. And if I move off of Murphy, why am I doing that? It's not Zion. You're talking about a young, very young and talented player with a huge upside. Now you get the emergence of Derek Queen. So it's got to make sense. We have to look at these trades through the lens of the team that is potentially going to trade the player, as opposed to we just exclusively think about the Warriors' needs.
Well, I think if the Warriors were willing to include multiple first-round picks, they might be able to get Trey Murphy. But to me, I don't know if that's worth it, because does Trey Murphy, for example...
Oh, you could use him.
Well, 100%. But does he put you in the same classes as Denver and Houston, who to me are right now that second tier? Like OKC's in a class of their own, if we're just looking at the West. OKC's in a class of their own. Denver and Houston, to me, are the second-tier teams. And then that third group, maybe San Antonio when Wemby's healthy, but that third tier right now is, like, the team they played last night is there, or 2A, right? It's Minnesota. I think LA's in there. And then depending on how you have San Antonio, that's to be what we're looking at right now. And the Warriors are with the Suns. They're actually behind the Suns.
But unfortunately, that player doesn't exist. There's nobody out there.
Well, last year it was Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, but there's not a Jimmy Butler in the market this year, and the Warriors are more than one player away, unfortunately. I hate to break it to people. Like, you're not just one player away from joining the neighborhood of that of the Denver Nuggets or OKC or even Houston. Now, listen, if you're one player away that makes you relevant and competitive where you can get into the playoffs and have a decent seeding, who the hell knows, right? When you think of the pedigree of Steph and Jimmy Butler and Draymond, if they're healthy, and even throw Al Horford in there. And, you could wish for something that maybe they can dial back the clock and they're experienced and they surprise people. But this is not a one-player away in terms of getting out of the West or going back to the NBA Finals. Unfortunately, we just have to be real about this when you look at this roster. If we are thinking about players, I think that I like to approach this from the team. Like, what team is willing to trade a player as opposed to, we need Trey Murphy, but New Orleans isn't going to do that. I think there could be a fire sale depending on what happens with Giannis and Milwaukee, which means Miles Turner in that huge contract. If Milwaukee wants to go in another direction, they could say, bye, Giannis. We're done paying you, Miles Turner. This doesn't match our timeline any longer. We're already shelling out $100 million for Dame Lillard. That was a mistake. We're moving off of this animal. What do you want from Miles Turner? Now, that's something a little bit more viable. Now, is Miles Turner somebody that you'd be interested in?
I would have been 3 years ago.
He was good last year.
No, he was, and he still is a good player, but I mean, sure, why not? He's big. He gives you some size. He can shoot it. But that's kind of what Quentin Post is doing, no?
But he becomes that. No. Oh, my God. Please. You didn't just do that, did you?
What?
We're not comparing Miles Turner as stretch 5 to that Quentin Post.
I mean, he's significantly cheaper.
And he's significantly inferior in terms of talent.
Yeah, but, okay, you acquire Miles Turner. Does that help you with the fact that you have 8 guards on your team? Does that help you with the fact that none of your wings are that effective?
But
or
he's
that
6'11", and he can go and defend, and he's a better athlete. I don't lose as much.
But he's not your number 2 player.
Well, that's just it.
He might be your second best player on this team, but to me, he's not solving the problems that they're facing.
But I don't think there's a player out there that's going to one player that's going to resolve the issues with the Warriors this year, because there's so many and they run so deep. But I do think Miles Turner could be a guy that is going to be a big. Now suddenly you've got somebody who's going to be a space eater, can guard the rim on both ends a little bit, and can step out and be, to your point, be that quasi two.
Yeah, I think so. I guess, I don't know. It's just hard for me to, like, Miles Turner is a guy that I liked a few years ago, but you're also acquiring him for what, another 3 years, 4 years?
At a lot of money.
I mean, it's 20, I think 20 or 25. He makes what? He signed a $4 for $100 million deal this summer. So that's not, in the grand scheme of things, a ton of cash in the modern game. But, I also think the Warriors have to decide what kind of contract they want to acquire. Is it someone that is aligned with Steph, Jimmy, Draymond? Is it someone that, is a bit younger that you want here long term? Or is it just an expiring? I kind of lean towards the latter. And that's where, like, I agree with you. I don't think that there's a Jimmy Butler out there, but we also didn't think that Jimmy Butler was going to come in and immediately help propel them to a place where you could say they were a Curry away from making the Western Conference Finals. All right, let's get back to the phone lines, 888-957-9570. Let's go out to Coach, who's been hanging on in Vallejo patiently, and I appreciate it. Coach, good morning, man. What's going on? Happy Saturday.
Hey, good morning, guys. Happy Saturday, and happy early Merry Christmas, because I think we all need to get into the Christmas spirit with this Warriors stuff. But I'm going to kind of make you laugh a little bit here, because I want to see the jar that says you can't talk about pods, okay? You guys, haven't talked about him much, and he's one of the leading minute players on the Warriors, okay? And obviously, Kurt thinks a lot about him, but, I mean, he has actually regressed so much. I mean, he was one of the main components of that 17-0 run, that Minnesota put on there. I mean, every guard they had would isolate pods and drive to the hoop, and I think there's something to be said about that. Plus, he only had 2 points in 23 minutes, okay? So I don't understand the big minutes for him. But lastly, that's just me getting that off my chest. But lastly, Kaminga, my thing is with him, if Kerr's not playing him because of effort, and I could understand not playing a player because of effort. I even told my brother I thought he was Cadillacing the last time he was playing. But isn't that one of the main components of being a coach, is to motivate your player, to get the best out of your player? And I think that's coaching, okay? Come on, Kaminga, you got it. If the coach can't get that effort out of Kaminga, there may be other players that not going to give max effort because the coach isn't, pushing the right buttons. And the Will Richard not playing, oh, my goodness, that's ridiculous. This young kid has been everything the coach has asked for, and he gets a DNP. And I just want to see Kerr be held more accountable for what's going on. But thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate you listening to me.
Yeah, of course. Happy holidays, Coach. I think he's right. That made no sense to me last night. Again, to kind of reiterate and piggyback on what Coach is talking about, the Kaminga thing makes sense if you don't feel like you're getting the energy or effort that you're looking for. That's exactly what Will Richard brings to the table. Yeah. I mean, that's all he does. He's a high energy, high effort player. And to me, that's kind of a bad signal to send, that if what you're looking for from this archetype of player is what he brings to the table, and then he goes not just from starting to a bench, but starting to being DMP'd, that I don't know. I think it sends a bad message.
I do disagree with Coach in this regard. Putting it on Steve Kerr for the lack of energy or motivation on the part of Jonathan Kaminga. I just don't think you have the time to do that at this level. And I think a lot of coaches will tell you, I can't pull a player aside and motivate him. That's a DNA thing. Maybe at college, even at college these days, I mean, it's becoming the semi-pros. Maybe at the high school level or somebody at the AAU can pull him aside and saying, look, this is what you need to do. But when you get to the NBA, it's either you got that in the gene pool or you don't. I don't know that I can't put that on a Steve Kerr that it's your job to motivate Jonathan Kaminga at $23 million a year or whatever it is that he's pulling down to do those little things that are lacking. Like that's not on the coach.
No, and I also think, too, in regards to last night, like when Minnesota made their run, it was largely with a backcourt of both Spencer and Pods, and that's why I think that Richard he should have been playing for one of those two guys. I mean, Pat Spencer, God love him, he's not a great defender. And actually, that was my biggest problem with the starting lineup. Spencer's played well, and he's earned more minutes. But if you start him alongside Steph, you have a backcourt that's not very good defensively. And I don't care how small or not they are. They just they're not going to keep guys in front of them. And so at that moment in the fourth quarter where you got both those guys out there, and I don't care. Fine, bench Pods. I don't care. Richard's got to play for him. Or bench Spencer. I don't care. Richard's got to play. Like, that's a guy who is out there with either of those two players, and I don't think the Warriors just get absolutely monsooned by Minnesota to the extent that they have to dig themselves out by just throwing it to Curry and hoping that he bails them out.
It's good to recall.
All right, let's get to Mojo Rising in Castro Valley. Wants to talk about the Dubs here on Warriors This Week. What's up, Mojo Rising? How you doing, man?
What's happening, fellas, man? Hey, break on through to the other side, man. You know the Doors. That's why I'm the Mojo Rising, the greatest band in the history. But, hey, that's beside the point. Hey, man, here's the thing, man. Steve Kerr, he used to be a good coach. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. He makes really bad decisions now. This whole thing with Kaminga, like, I don't know what it is. I've played and watched basketball my whole life. I know basketball like the back of my hand. Kaminga is their only good, young, athletic guy with size that can rebound, play defense. This effort thing, I mean, did anybody see the game when he took the ball off the rim and dunked over Joel Embiid like Dominique Wilkins? Like, he keeps being in the doghouse. And like the last you were saying about this Richards kid, why does he DMP him? I'm serious. This is part of the reason why the Warriors are not good anymore. It's because he's not a good coach anymore. Just like Peyton II. Why is Peyton II in the doghouse? Just like these last years with Looney. Looney was the best rebounder and defender and everything we had. So I can see why Kaminga is unmotivated because he's like, Kerr doesn't like him for whatever reason, which is ridiculous. So really the only chance the Warriors have is to play Kaminga. All these people that keep saying, oh, he doesn't play or he doesn't have the effort, you people don't really watch the games. I don't get it. And as far as Quentin Post, you just made a comment that Miles Turner, that he's nowhere near the talent. Come on, bro. He's only in his second year. Post is going to be really, really good. I mean, he has the potential to be an all-star one day. So I don't see what people see in the world anymore. People live in this fantasy world and they don't see it. But the Warriors' window is kind of closed. Draymond Green is a turnover machine. That's all he does is turn the ball over. Jimmy Bucket's always hurt. Curry's still great, but he's old, man. And Horford was a good pickup, but he's too old to play. So you got to go with these young guys. And the last caller about Pods, exactly. Pods doesn't deserve to play like he is. Pods keeps turning the ball, and he's totally regressed. So that's the point with everybody. Is Kaminga, I don't know. People need to get off this thing with Kaminga. Kaminga is good and young and athletic. Like I said, nobody pulls a Dominique, kicks out the rim, and dunks over Joel Embiid. So I don't know what everybody's seeing. So tell me, what do you guys think about all this? Why does everybody always just want to keep riddling Kaminga? It's Kerr. Kerr's not a good coach anymore.
Thanks, Mojo.
What I think is you're dipping into the holiday punch a little early this year there, Bad Moon Rising.
It's Mojo Rising, and he's just added $15 to the jar.
Quentin Post is going to be an all-star?
Hey, get off my guy. He's a great chess player.
But I would say this about Kaminga, just going into Minnesota.
We got to hit a break here.
Wasn't he the leading scorer against Minnesota in the playoffs a year ago? So sort of peculiar when you're thinking about, well, I need somebody.
All right. That's a buck. 888-957-9570 is the number. We could talk about a player who didn't play if you want. But
where's that money going, by the way?
To Laracas.
Exactly, right?
Where do you think it's going? Down to the cafeteria.
Thank you.
You come out with me one time. All right, we're going to hit a break, come back on the other side again. We're taking your calls at 888-957. Evan and Dan back after this on Warriors This Week.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in the Bay Area. And our more than 110 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
The NFL is taking over the Bay Area. Experience football like never before with Super Bowl Experience presented by Jersey Mike's February 3rd through 7th at the Moscone Center. Tickets start at just $40 and kids 12 and under attend for free. Visit superbowl.com to buy your tickets today.
You know, covering Bay Area sports for years, I've seen athletes go through it all. The highs, the lows, and the pain that comes with getting knocked down. But when it's not just a game, when you're the one injured, or when tragedy strikes someone you love, that's where Beam Law comes in. Beam Law is the Bay Area's go-to personal injury law firm. Whether it's a car accident, a serious injury, or a wrongful death, they're there to shoulder the legal burden so you can focus on what truly matters: rebuilding, recovery, and taking care of your family. Beam Law is local, and they win, with millions recovered for clients across the region. That's why SF Weekly voted them Best of the Bay 4 times. If you've been hurt or lost someone because of someone else's negligence, call Beam Law at 415-523-5555. 415-523-5555. That's 415-523-5555, or visit hurtinthebay.com. That's hurtinthebay.com, because it's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get back up. Beam Law, they've got your back, Bay Area.
So, what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
Hi, I'm Chris.
I'm David.
And I'm John Margevisi with Jack's Restaurant and Bar.
Dude, what's with that voice?
Bro, it's my radio voice. People say I have a
great voice for radio.
Bro, people say you have a great face for radio.
Oh, you have a radio
Guys,
face.
not again. We're here to talk about Jack's. Mom taught us everything we know. Use the best ingredients. Cook everything homemade. Treat everyone like family.
Don't forget the bar.
With amazing cocktails.
Of course. Full bar. Amazing cocktails. Let's stay focused.
You're right. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry, too.
That's better. Besides, you're twins. You have the same face for radio.
Why, you little
I love Jax.com.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check if they're going for it on 4th down before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo
baby! What?
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those?
Yeah, checking first is smart.
No.
So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
Think you can't lose weight during the holidays? Think again. At Jumpstart MD, we make it possible with local experts, clinical support, and access to the lowest priced GLP-1 medications. Whether you visit one of our 13 Bay Area clinics or start online, you can save big this December. Start today for just $25 when you mention radio, because the best gift you can give yourself is your health. Call 855-JUMPSTART or visit jumpstartmd.com to book now.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. Member FDIC.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com. Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
Yay!
All right.
With Howard Giddings and Dan Devone.
You wanted to go there. Fine, Dan. You open up Pandora's box. You want to talk about a guy who doesn't play, so let's do it. I'll give you the jar, and you can just, you know what, do us all a favor. Just throw a 20 in here, because these phone lines got lit up during the commercial break, and I'm not being blamed for it.
I don't want to nitpick because Kaminga, oh, God, y'all got me.
I don't remember that one, actually. Was that when? I might have been off that day. You want to do it? I mean, we got full lines here.
Actually, hold on.
People want to talk.
Hold on. For dramatic effect, you think I'm just to the Nahagian Retirement Fund? Oh, I got 2 of them.
Yeah, two ones. All right, here we go. If you just throw it over here, I'll put it in. Yeah, thank you. All right, appreciate it.
Cha-ching!
That'll give us half a sip.
Cash me out one time.
Yep, people want to talk about him.
So now I get to say his name?
Yeah, of course.
Or if I say it again, I got to
you can say whatever you want. It's our show.
Actually, I've said his name. Let's go. Get to the callers. Where are they at with this guy?
888-957-9570. We're talking about a DMP CD. Let's start with our guy, appropriately, D in D.C. D, what's up, man? Good morning. How you doing?
Howie, what's going on, Howie?
Oh, that's a 5, D.
Hey, man. Hey, Dad, you're going to get this dude in a lot of trouble by naming him Howie, man.
I went Howard, man. You went Howard.
I told you.
Hey, man, I'm calling to try to set the table for you guys, man. A lot of Warriors fans, for whatever reason, they believe when a guy can jump high and dunk, just because that make him a great basketball player. I have news for you guys. Those of you who are listening who think Jonathan Kaminga is a great one, y'all got a lot to learn about basketball. Seriously. Dunking is only 2 points. And if you don't have counter moves in basketball, if you can't defend, specifically at 6'7", 6'8", if you're not a terrific defender, forget about it. You're not that good, all right? In regards to Kerr, I don't know why this dude, for whatever reason, he always has to go to 50 different starting lineups the last 5 years. Every year, every season, he goes to 50 different starting lineups before he can finally find one that he likes. Why is that? Dan Devon, I know you never the type of guy who would hold punches, man. Can you please explain that to me? I'm curious to know what is going on in Kerr's mind. If you can help me understand that, I would truly appreciate it. I'm going to hang up and listen to you on the other side, brother.
Thanks, D.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious, Howard. He doesn't have the talent. He doesn't have the players to go with. If this was 2016, you're not playing 10, 11, 13 dudes.
Yeah.
But it's not. So you're in search of guys that can stick or make a difference. And they're just inferior in terms of their bench play.
I'm trying to find the number of starting lineups he had last year because I want to say the number was like in the 20s or 30s. And a big reason for that was they were playing, 13 deep at the beginning of the season. And really until Jimmy Butler, they didn't have a good starting lineup. I think part of it is the coach doesn't know who the best players are on the team, which is a problem because you're the head coach. It is also a reflection of the roster itself. Part of it is even your best players are also in and out. I mean, Curry just came back, but he missed 5 games, so your starting lineup's going to be different. Jimmy Butler was out for a few games, so your starting lineup's going to be different. Draymond was out last night, so it's like he's puzzle piecing this thing together, and on a night like last night, like that's kind of the difference to me in why you're getting beat by some of these teams, especially the good ones. Like I know Minnesota didn't have Ant, but that's still a good team. And to me, that's why like the Warriors don't really have an identity. I know they have the same players largely as last season, but this is a brand new year. They haven't found an identity yet. I don't know whether they're a tough team. I don't know whether they're a defensive-minded team, if they're going to go out and try and score 125 a night. Their identity right now is 30. That's it. It's just all based around Steph, and anything else sort of falls into place on a given night. And is that partially the coach's fault? Absolutely, because he clearly hasn't unlocked whatever type of talent, even if there's not a lot, is on this roster. Is that on the GM, in the front office? I think so too, because they believe that this team is good enough to get you back to where you were last year, and it ain't looking like it. And it's on the players, because some of these guys who are not 35 years old or older, they haven't gotten any better. The fact that, and God love Pat Spencer, he had his 15 minutes of fame. We talked about him all last week, and he's a great story. But if he's in your starting lineup, how good he's a two-way player. You know what I mean? Pat Spencer, he's clearly an NBA player. I think he can help this team in different ways, but he should not be starting. And that's kind of, to me, the issue that they're dealing with.
Remember Bill Parcells, you are what your record is?
Was that him or Danny Green?
Can you look that up, Pasta? I want to say it was Parcells.
Probably. I think you're right.
You are what your record is. This is a 500 basketball team. I think they're actually going to be sub 500, but let's just say they're a 500 team. That's exactly who they are.
No, you're right. It's Parcells.
If you want to see the Warriors in 2025, and I'm running your marketing team, listen, we're a 500 basketball team, all right? Podziemski is not that guy. Moody is not some guy who's going to have a breakout season. Certainly not Jonathan Kaminga. We had a little fun with Pat Spencer, but we're a 500 basketball team. But what we do have is Steph Curry and a bunch of guys, which should be worth the price of admission. We're a 500 team, which isn't necessarily good or bad, but that's who we are. And we also have Steph Curry. So come out and watch this, because Steph Curry might be the greatest to ever do it, or at least in the top 5, and his career is winding down. But in terms of who we are, we're a 500 basketball team. We could sit here and try and reinvent this thing and look for reasons as to why they potentially could have a breakthrough season and catch and walk down OKC, or talk about the trade deadline. But this is a mediocre basketball team at the end of the day.
Well, the goal for any Western Conference team is just, to me, just to get to the Western Conference Finals. I mean, I'm sorry to tell people, you're not getting out of the West. Like you're not going to beat OKC unless that team undergoes some sort of meltdown
You
or
do know the only
catastrophic
team is
injury.
to beat them this year.
The only team who can beat them?
The only team to beat them this year.
Yeah, I know. The team the Warriors play tomorrow. Portland Trailblazers.
How did that happen?
They were up 20 in that game, by the way. You know this about the Thunder? The starting lineup that they played in the NBA Finals last year has not played 1 minute together this year. Not one. They have had injuries in and outs. I mean, the other night, I think Shea finally missed his first game, and they won by 20. It's like, okay, fine. We don't have the same team as last year. Well, we got A.J. Mitchell who can come in and play.
Their depth is just getting
We got
ridiculous.
Wiggins. We got Isaiah Joe. We got Kason Wallace is like, that's...
See, they go 13 deep, but their 13 can all ball.
They got some dudes. Oh, my gosh. Well, hey, the Warriors just got I forget how to pronounce his name. I think it might be Lyons. They just got an OKC two-way player. They signed him off the OKC Blue. So maybe they're dipping their toes back into those waters. Like Lindy last year?
You know what's scary? And let's get to some of these calls.
Okay.
Is that they're now confident because they won that title, right?
I know.
And so now they have that.
Well, you and I said this last year. The year to get them was last year.
Yeah.
If you were going to beat them, last year was the year. Now they're a team that not only are they confident, but because of the fashion in which they won and the lack of respect, I believe that a lot of people don't... the lack of respect people have for them because... They won in 7 games and Halliburton got hurt. It's like now they're also motivated. They're motivated to prove everybody wrong in addition to the confidence of a champion.
Did you see Grayson Allen just take out and deck Chet Holmgren? I just had to go there.
That's what he does.
Yeah, just to remind everybody that Grayson Allen is still that guy. He's still got rage issues. It did not end when he came to the NBA. He still goes Duke once in a while.
Yeah, Grayson Allen makes Matthew Dellavedova look like Mother Teresa.
He's supposedly a really good dude, which is even scarier.
Well, I believe it. I mean, in all of the postgame pressers and sort of the sound that I've heard of he sounds like fun.
Which means he's nuts.
Well, okay, what's Draymond's excuse? Draymond sounds fine, and then he goes out and does dumb stuff every game. You can't change people.
No, I agree.
Or athletes. All right, let's go to Oscar, who's in Stockton, wants to talk about Steve Kerr. Oscar, what's up, my man? What's going on?
Oh, man, what's going on, fellas? It's a great, gloomy day out here again in this valley. Depressing kind of, but my thing is that watching the game last night and just hearing the way Kerr was talking about Benzinski playing with my boy Pat. In that game, if you guys was watching the game, I know you was, from the end of the third quarter on to the start of the fourth quarter, he left the same guys in there. And they went on a 17-0 run. And that's what's cost us the game. And not only that, you guys are saying it's right. I keep on saying about people trying to blame the coaches. Okay, in the offseason, you need to be working on your game. If your weakness is ball handling, you need to be ball handling it. Our wings cannot create their own shots. You know what I'm saying? Moody can't dribble. Kaminga can't dribble. And even though Kaminga didn't play last night, He can't dribble. We need wings that can dribble. You know what I'm saying? And that's our problem right now. And another thing, they did not play the way they played on the road. The intensity wasn't there from every player, and they wasn't playing up tempo. And my boy Jimmy Butler, them kind of games, they playing length like that. He got to still attack them, man. You know what I'm saying? And we should have never lost that game last night. And from that point on, man, we wasting Curry 39 points. Hey, we gave up how much last night? Over 120. And that comes from the defense part. But Brzezinski, man, every time I turn around, I know Curry my man, but you keep on going to Brzezinski, and you got all them athletical dudes on the side. Will Richards did not see no time. You know what I mean? If we're going to go that deep, Will Richards got to play. Paz had 2 points, man, in 23 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And like you just said, Pat Spencer, I love him, but Pat Spencer can't be starting on the team. He got to come off the bench to be still successful like that, man. So other than that, the Warriors got to get it together. And guess what? We didn't have no Draymond Green last night. And guess what Rudy Gobert did? Looked like an all-star in the middle. So, the Warriors got to tighten the ship up, but something's going to happen. If Kaminga not going to play, you're going to have to trade him. I know he's going to get traded, but his body language, you can tell Kaminga listening to his agent. Sometimes you can have bad advice, man. And his agent is not a good agent, man. He's giving that young kid bad advice, man. You're still supposed to go out and play hard. And Kaminga is not playing hard. And that's why Kurt is not playing him, man. On that day, man, y'all have a good day, man. Go Warriors. I'm sticking with them.
Thanks, Oscar. Hope you have a nice day, too. Appreciate the call. Yeah, I think, and this is kind of the rock and hard place that the Warriors are going to find themselves between come trade deadline or trade window, which opens up officially for JK on January 15th. I'll put a buck in there, I promise. So the issue is that when Kaminga's been playing, he hasn't helped the Warriors recently, really outside of the first 5, 6, 7 games of the season. So Kerr feels like he's unplayable. Okay, I get that. But if you want to trade him, his value's never been lower. Because teams around the league, while they might still view him as intriguing and, all right, could we unlock him and is there another level to him? Oh, that's well and good, but why am I going to give up something when this guy can't even play for your team? He can't even play for a 500 team is what the head coach is telling me. So why should I give up anything worth a damn? And that's where I understand why he's not playing, but I also am looking at this in a month and saying he's going to be difficult to trade.
See, I don't think so. I think teams it's 5 years now, Ev. Howard.
Exactly. Hey, easy. As long as it's not Howie.
I think teams have done their evaluating. Just like everybody else. They know who Jonathan Kaminga is, especially teams that have seen him for the last 5 years.
But how I don't understand how anybody could know what he is.
Well, they know what he is within playing for the Golden State Warriors. Now, the decision to trade for him is their thinking is if I'm somebody that's going to trade for Jonathan Kaminga, I'm thinking systematically he's going to fit here because I'm in a rebuild and I can let him play and be my 1 or 2. And so it's a risk, but I think that people, as a lot of the callers, and the reason why you have this tip jar, because he's so divisive, because people recognize the talent. And every time there's talent, there's somebody that says, I can do something with that. I can make something out of him. I'm the guy who can unlock him. I don't think they need to see him play this year. The evaluation's already in. I know who Jonathan Kaminga is. I know what he can be. And that's why you're going to pull the trigger for him.
Well, you'd pull the trigger because you don't know. No one knows. You hope that he's going to, with opportunity and with minutes, realize his potential, but no one can tell you what that is. It could be a third best player. He clearly thinks that he can be a star player.
But isn't there risk in every trade for a good basketball player? If they're going to be traded, there's usually that's tied with some element of risk. Jimmy Butler, is he too old? You got to sign him to that contract. If you're going to trade for Anthony Davis, often injured Anthony Davis, am I going to give up that much for a guy? I mean, there's always you're weighing sort of the risk involved.
Well, you're weighing the risk, but that's why, to me, if you're thinking about teams that he can go to, all right, it's got to be a team that's willing to give him playing time and that is willing to feature him. All right, how many teams are out there? A few? And then the Warriors got to say, all right, do they have something that we want? And then you got to go back to that team and ask, well, do they want to give that up for something that they honestly do not know concretely? They don't know if Kaminga can play. They don't know if he can be a 25-point-per-game scorer like he wants to be, or an all-star, or all the things that his agent is claiming that he can be with a team who believes in him. Let me ask you this. So
really quick, don't you think conversely it could have the other effect as well? If you play him and he continues to play well, it's going to devalue his trade market value.
Wait, the Warriors, you mean? Like if the Warriors...
No, you're saying they need to play him, right? In order to...
No, I don't know how you play him right now.
Well, even if you do play
I'm just saying it creates a problem.
But I guess you might even be better off by him not playing because it lends some sort of intrigue. But if he continues to play and play poorly, now you're devaluating his market value.
Yeah, I mean, I understand how you look at it like that. I guess I would think naturally if I'm in another location, okay, so this guy's got some talent. He seems like he's got some potential. Why the hell can't he get on the floor?
Yeah.
He's not playing over Guy Santos. I'm not giving you, like if I was trading for Guy Santos, I'm not giving you anything. And this guy can't play over him. So what are we really talking about here? I think, I'm not saying that he should play because clearly I don't know, maybe next game he does get some tick because Kerr is just completely reactionary. And that's the other part, too, about the Warriors and, this 11-man lineup and the combinations he's trying to find. It's all very reactionary. It's all based on, well, did you win the game or did you lose the game? And not about what actually happened. I don't know. I feel like they have to condense this roster come trade deadline almost to take the amount of options away. I mean, I think one of the problems with the team is that they do have a lot of players that are very similar in terms of talent. They just do. Like, I can't tell you on a given night who's going to be better than who.
There are 8 guards, and they're all interchangeable. Well, and that's who dominates. That's the personality of this team. It's a 6'3" league.
I mean, let's talk about Pods for a sec before we got to hit a break here. So he stunk last night, but he had, 21, 8, and 7 on Sunday against Chicago. It's like, okay, so he was really good against Chicago, so that means Kerr's going to play him, but he stunk last night. So does that mean he shouldn't play the next game? You know what I mean? It's like Will Richard clearly should have played over him last night, in my opinion. He would have helped them. But you don't know what you're going to get from Pods because some nights he can do what he did against Chicago and make 5 threes and look like a guy who's going to be a nice backup piece for you. And some nights he looks like he shouldn't be on the floor. And I feel like that is the case for a lot of these dudes right now, which is creating problems for Steve Kerr and why he's some nights looking like he doesn't know what he's doing out there. All right, 888-957-9570 is the number. I see you, Rich. I see you, Brooklyn. We're going to get to your calls all on the other side. Also the number for the Boxer and Gerson work injury attorneys text line. Evan Giddings, Howard Giddings, Dan DeVoe, Pasta. We'll be back after this.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
With T-Mobile, we don't miss out on any family fiestas.
Hola, mija, ¿cómo quedó el mole?
It turned out great.
This holiday, switch to T-Mobile and stay connected with los tuyos. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with no trade-in needed, plus 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store at T-Mobile.com or call 1-800-T-Mobile. With 24 monthly bill credits and 4 eligible port-ins on essentials. For well-qualified customers with auto-pay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes. $800 required. Not for extended international use. You must reside in the U.S. and primary usage must occur on our network. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Thinking about selling your house but hesitant to move during the holidays? Imagine finalizing your sale now, enjoying the holidays, and move later. Call Wedgwood Homes to discuss your options. Do you want to downsize, relocate, or selling an inherited property? Does your house need repairs or updates? Wedgwood Homes buys homes as is. No repairs, no commissions, no hassle. Secure your future plans and move forward with a no-obligation, all-cash offer from Wedgwood Homes. Close in as little as 3 days. Or enjoy the holiday season and move after the new year. Skip the stress of a traditional listing that can be slow and unpredictable. Lock in your sale now with a firm offer from Wedgwood Homes with no last-minute price drops like other cash buyers. Call 415-888-9432 for your no-obligation all-cash offer. 415-888-9432. 415-888-9432 or wedgwoodhomes.com, the Bay Area's trusted home buyer.
If a Lenovo gaming computer is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to score exclusive deals on the gaming PCs you want, like the Lenovo Legion Tower 5 Gen 10 gaming desktop and Lenovo Lock gaming laptop. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Ragnar the Terrible is interviewing at a big bank. Let's listen.
Everyone, this is 5th century warlord Ragnar the Terrible. He killed it in his first interview. Not literally, but close. Ragnar, what would you do if a customer complained about high loan rates?
I make video presentation.
Star One is nothing like the big banks. We have better rates, minimal fees, and friendly customer service. Star One, in your best interest.
From carriage house to glass aluminum doors, R&S Doors has a full line of commercial and residential garage doors and gates to suit anyone's taste and budget. Visit rsdoors.com. R&S Doors. Look for the red truck.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable scent boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness, so you can smell unstoppable.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Get more and spend less on groceries at Smart & Final this holiday season. Shop low prices on everything you need to eat, drink, and be merry. Smart & Final. Where else? For your chance to win a gift card courtesy of Smart & Final. Visit the contest page at 957thegame.com.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/life.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco, on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
Yeah, I didn't know you used to work with Better in Person Roberts.
Bip Roberts, former Cincinnati Red, I think. Yeah.
Oh, heck
yeah. East Bay legend.
Sure did.
Come on, man.
Doing back in the day, Oakland A's postgame. This is when the A's were good. Hey, Pasta, you got any Howard Cosell drops or anything with a Howard theme for our renamed guest here? Howard
I can check
Giddings?
the archives.
I gotta tell you that
we have so much of his nephew.
Wait, go ahead with your Howard. Let me hear your Howard Cosell.
Well, Dan Devone, I gotta tell you that at the
That's not
same
bad.
time, the Golden State Warriors were once a model franchise, a dynasty, if you'd like to call it that, and now we've been resigned to a 13-13 start in the 2025-26 season.
I didn't know you had that in the arsenal.
Yeah, that one.
You know what you got to do when it comes to Howard Cosell, because this is who he was. And obviously, he didn't know what a prompter was, or this is all.
That's why
him.
he's the man.
So, John Lennon dies on Monday night, and he does this John Lennon tribute, which is all ad-lib. And it's like, oh my God. His John Lennon on the night of his death, he eulogizes the man, and it's all off the top of his head. And he interrupts Monday Night Football during the course of this game to go John Lennon for like 2 minutes. And I just strongly suggest everybody watch that thing on YouTube.
I think they actually replayed it this last month. Maybe it was Monday night before, but it was the anniversary of it. It happened,
really?
umpteen years ago. And I remember the clip specifically when they replayed it, it just all came flooding back because the 3 words that will never leave my mind: dead on arrival. I mean, good Lord, man. The guy just got shot. You're interrupting a Monday Night Football game to give this eulogy, which understandably, and I know back then they didn't have Twitter, didn't have the internet, so you gotta get the news out, and that's what he would do. But the dead on arrival, I was like, damn, that is cold.
Amazing.
I did find one Howard Cosell thing. This is actually a 95.7 The Game promo from a few years ago, and Daryl the Guru Johnson is the star in it. Take a listen.
Wow. Is that Howard Cosell?
It was great, Dad, to get off of work and have football right there in your living room. Not one study, but 2 games. I enjoyed it. Had my Gold Bar whiskey, and I could really get used to it.
That's pretty good.
You know, getting back to John Lennon, who was shot in his apartment lobby, married to Yoko Ono. Now, you would think, and this should just tell you something about real estate in Manhattan. They lived on a place called Central Park West, right adjacent from that of Central Park. In fact, that's what motivated him to write Strawberry Fields, which is this little patch of grass right there in Central Park, right across from where they lived in the Dakota. And so if you think that your husband has been shot in the lobby, that wouldn't you want to move? Like going through that lobby every day would give you memories of John Lennon. She never has, because she has the penthouse at the Dakota, which just gives you an idea of like, yeah, that's really sad, but I'm not going anywhere.
You would think, but have you ever seen a Yoko
Did Hinckley
Ono
shoot her? No. shoot him? No. Hinckley was, I forgot the guy. Anyways. Hinckley shot Reagan.
So I've been to the Guggenheim twice. One time was to see the Yoko Ono art exhibit. And before I saw that exhibit, I would have asked the same question. And then I saw what kind of art and photography and just kind of artistic eye she has. And it actually kind of makes perfect sense. Like her interests, at least based on just that art exhibit, I obviously don't know her. I've only read about her. Was so strange. I mean, I remember there was this one kind of still shot that you would have to look through almost like a telescope at to see. And it was her filming a fly sitting on an extremely odored dead body, naked body. Her just observing a fly going up and down and flying around. Honestly, it was the private regions of a corpse. And I just remember thinking, what is so interesting about this?
Well, none of those people were sober for a good decade plus.
What is going on here?
You're welcome, Pasta.
When she infiltrated, like she wanted to play and be part of his music. And there's that one video where you almost feel like John Lennon's like, I got to let the wife get in on this. And she just randomly banging this tambourine completely out of rhythm.
You know?
Okay, do it.
Love is love, man.
Let's see it, Howard. Let's see it. Go ahead.
Oh, well, speaking of New York, let's go to Brooklyn. Let's go to Brooklyn, who's in San Rafael. Brooklyn, save us, please.
Segue of the day.
What's up, Brooklyn? How you doing?
Hi, guys. I'm going to be one of your more experienced callers. I grew up playing basketball in Brooklyn, and I moved out here in 1972 at the age of 27. So you can figure out how old I am. And I grew up, I was playing basketball before there was the 24-second shot clock. And in fact, I saw Jerry West playing the East-West All-Star game. That was incredible. Lenny Wilkins won it for them. And Coach Pop had a shop in San Francisco for 46 years, and Coach Pop was a regular, and we would talk basketball, and he was great. One of the kindest men I ever met. So I have a big experience. I'm not saying I'm the most knowledgeable guy, but I played basketball. I was 6'2". 6'2" centers don't go far, although in a Jewish neighborhood that's tall. But if I was 6'6", I probably would have been all city. But
what on the Warriors?
Moving on to, not on the Warriors, but this is what. First, I'll start with Kerr. I was surprised he didn't play Kaminga just because Buddy Hield. I figured with Draymond Green out, the natural fit, when they're always saying he's more of a power forward, and he hurt Minnesota in the playoffs last year. So that's the first time I've been disappointed. But to challenge Kerr is a little difficult because, I remember when Nelly, I'm going to go way back, Nelly had a guy named Anthony Randolph. Do you remember him?
Oh, yeah.
Scored like 37 points in a summer league game, 6'11". Not a real high draft pick, but maybe 8, 17, 19. And everybody's screaming, why don't you play him? He said, the kid's 19. He doesn't know what he's doing yet. And they ended up trading him to the Knicks. And I remember I was a regular caller for Damon Bruce. He said I sounded like Peter Vesey, so I went by the name Peter Vesey for years. Which is funny because he said, you sound like him. So one of my friends says, you're Peter Vesey, right? I said, yeah. So we got David Lee, and David Lee helped us. I said, we got David Lee's 22 points and 10 rebounds. I mean, so, why he play? I don't know why he didn't play him. I would have put him on the court, give him 6-8 minutes. If he doesn't play well, take him out. But not to play him at all is a little surprising, and you want to trade him. Okay, let's just say we're going to trade him, which seems now like 100% of certainty. The only way this team is going to get far is we're not getting past Oklahoma City. This is a remarkable team. They're not just winning, they're winning by huge margins. The other team doesn't have a chance. I mean, nobody has a chance. They're probably going to beat our 73-9 record. I mean, if they care to. Usually towards the end of the season, you don't care. But we want to play, as Curry says, meaningful games. So my plan all year has been, listen, we're old. our future doesn't look bright. We don't have the two timelines. James Wiseman was a tragedy. Jonathan Kaminga drafted ahead of him was Josh Giddey, which hurts. So we're going to trade him. So you're not going to get a young prospect. It's not going to help. We want to fill out Curry, Draymond, and Jimmy Butler's last few years. So let's just get an older guy. So let's go to the worst teams. Okay, the worst teams right now are New Orleans, Washington, and the Clippers. Now, my first choice, and Sacramento. My first choice right out of the bat is we need a third scorer. When Curry's not scoring, Butler's not getting 25 a game like he used to get. He did have a couple of 30-point games last year, but we need a scorer. Who's an old guy who doesn't get regularly hurt who can score? DeMar DeRozan. I know that sounds crazy, but DeMar DeRozan could step in and get you buckets. When Curry went out last night, he could get you buckets. He's the mid-range jumper champ. He's averaging 18 this year, which is down. I mean, he's been a 25, 28-point-a-game scorer for years. He could score. Forget about, they said that we didn't have any guards playing defense, Pat Spencer. That didn't hurt us. What hurt us was three huge guys we couldn't stop. We couldn't stop Gasol. We couldn't stop, forget it. You know the other two guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't the guards' problem. And we won 1 year with Draymond Green at center. So the center position, forget it. And so I would go after DeMar DeRozan first, and I think they would send him. They love Kaminga, from what I've read.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a good trade. He's going to get you points. We need points.
I got you, Brooklyn. No doubt. Sorry about that. We just a lot of good points there. We kind of got to dive into as a long call. Please don't be a stranger. Peter Vesey. He does have me thinking, though, about, he mentioned like the David Lee trade. And that was one where he's right. Anthony Randolph, who was drafted, 18, 19 years old, just was not a fit. Wasn't honestly that skilled. He was a great athlete, but he wasn't a great shooter, wasn't a consistent this, that, or the other. But they were able to turn him into David Lee, who was a sign-in trade at the time. Knicks didn't want to pay him. So is there a player out there looking at this summer or maybe this year that the Warriors might be able to identify to say, all right, that guy's not going to get paid by his team. That team doesn't really want to invest in him. How can we use Kaminga's contract to get us that guy? There's not a ton out there. Maybe it is a John Collins with the Clippers who's going to be a free agent. I don't think Detroit wants to give up Tobias Harris, but he's in that range. He's another guard. Maybe it's Anthony Simons with Boston, who's trying to, shed salary with the way that their team is. That
seems pretty good.
Well, Boston is good, but Simons is not a long-term fit for them. He was kind of brought in to be a placeholder so they could rework their books. It's like, to me, it's those kinds of guys that you're going to have to look at and say, maybe it is Porzingis for some people. I personally wouldn't want a part of him because I think he can't stay on the floor. But it's going to be those kinds of, I don't want to say projects, but
like a Jalen Brunson sitting in the
players. Yeah,
Jalen Brunson
exactly.
Sitting in the weeds in Dallas and then gets an opportunity and becomes this guy. I love Brooklyn. I love people from New York. So call again. We got to get him as a regular. But sorry, DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, I'm not.
We all right?
What's wrong?
Someone is dropping a ball on the floor, it feels like.
Oh.
It's been happening all morning. I got to go check out what's going on. I don't think there's an earthquake.
Well,
We're not into construction. They're not taking a wrecking ball to the 10th floor, are they?
Well, maybe they should, but...
Hey.
DeMar DeRozan, here's what's wrong with DeRozan. Sorry, Coach.
He's too old?
Oh, God. The last thing you need is another 36-year-old who doesn't play defense and a guy who's got that salary and somebody that just doesn't play fast-paced basketball. I know he's got the mid-range. There's a reason why he's not a fit in Sacramento. He's not a fit anywhere in the NBA anymore. DeMar DeRozan is that would be the worst thing that the Warriors could do. If they add another 36-year-old to this team, Sacramento is probably the worst sort of design basketball team over the last 50 years. And DeMar DeRozan is the centerpiece of that.
They're playing a different sport. Actually, I don't know if he's the centerpiece. To me, they got, God, I mean, it's really just take your pick. Zach LaVine might be the worst contract in basketball. DeMar DeRozan is, a couple of years ago, I might have entertained that because he was an efficient, high 20s scorer. This year he's averaging 17.5 points, and he's 36. But they got Westbrook, Schroeder, Monk. Oh, my God. I mean, there's really only two guys on that team I think I'd want. And that's Keegan Murray, who they will not give up, and Keon Ellis, because at least he plays defense. But, again, he's also pretty small. The Warriors just have not, they don't have what the league demands you to have. And I don't even mean a center. Houston's doing it a certain way, and that's their prerogative, but...
Well, it's interesting you mentioned centers. If the Clippers do fire sale and Zubats is on the market...
Oh, I would make a run for Zubats.
Yeah, well, do you have enough to get him? I mean, I think he's really interesting.
You would have to give up... But this is where a team like the Clippers might be vulnerable, is they don't have any draft capital. So they might be really willing to part with a good piece for draft picks. I don't think that they would give up Zubats. Like, if you look at all the players on that team... To me, that's why I mentioned someone like John Collins. I think John Collins is a flawed player, but the Clippers aren't married to him. I think he's going to be available. Bogdanovich is probably available. He's not very good. Like the Hardens, the Kawhis, the Zubats is... I don't even know if I'd want Harden at this point or Kawhi.
But if you're pushing reset and you're basically saying we made a huge mistake...
But Zubats is still young enough that he could help whatever your next... I mean, I think fire sale, when people say that, it's not always just burn everything to the ground. It's just sell what you don't want. It's a garage sale. I think fire sale is a little strong. It's a garage sale. You're getting rid of all the crap in your house that you don't want, that you're willing to take not a lot of money for.
Thing is, you're still going to have Harden. Harden has a...
I think Harden's a free agent?
No, he has a player option. He's going to opt back in for $54 million.
He's only making 42.
Well, he'll opt in.
Yes, he will. Or they might extend him. He actually hasn't been a problem this year. I like Harden's been playing pretty well, man.
They should have never traded Norm Powell. And I think
that was a mistake.
And just getting back to our guy JK, I think maybe there's something, and I'm not trying to create something that's not there, but this happens because we don't know, right? We're always sort of, it's all conjecture on our end. We don't know what's happening behind the curtain, so to speak. And I think that there might be something there as far as Jonathan Kaminga and Steve Kerr. Either Kaminga's like, screw you, I don't want to play for... I mean, maybe it's gotten to a point where it might be a little loud on both ends. And I think it may have crossed that line where it's not as much determined on whether physically you fit against Minnesota or whomever it is that we're playing. That there might be something more to it.
Well, that's also an issue. Is it feels like Kerr is constructing his rotations based on the matchup, and against a lot of teams, you just don't match up against them. It sounds like Bigfoot is in this damn building.
Sasquatch is on its... You know what it reminds me of? That scene in
sounds very ominous.
Jurassic Park when T-Rex makes its first appearance, and there's that little glass of water that begins to sort of jiggle.
Like dinosaurs making love. Okay, that was too far.
And this is why when we have our initiation or our 95.7 The Game Hazen pasta,
I'm the number one suspect. I'm the number one victim.
Yeah, you will be paddled. All right, let's get out to Big Smooth, who's in Oakland. Let's talk about last night's game. Smoothie, what's up, man? Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. So what became apparent to me last night is what I keep saying, and we'll die on this hill, who we need. It's not going to be a big explosion move. You guys remember years ago when David West became available? I wanted David West so bad, but he went to San Antonio. And then when that didn't work, we finally got him, although we could have got him earlier, and he's a perfect fit. He wasn't a big explosive move, but he was the move that we needed. We need to go get Bobby Portis. Why? He kills the Warriors. He had 27 and 9, I think, the night before. Bobby Portis can score. Bobby Portis is a tough guy. Bobby Portis can rebound. Bobby Portis makes about $44 million. Sound familiar? Yeah, that's what JK is making. We can get Bobby Portis. Why? Because the Bucks are going to eventually strip down all the parts. He will become available. Now, the Warriors probably know this. I mean, they're not like us. They do this every day, and they burn the phones every day. So they're probably working on a move like this. I don't think it's going to be a big Giannis or a big AD move. We don't really necessarily need that. I think we can retain most of what we have now. We may have to give up before. We're going to have to give up something. And we can get somebody like Bobby Portis. He's not out of our reach. But we apparently need someone who can score inside. And TDJ, I love him, but he's not a threat. He's not a threat.
Well, let me ask you this: why do you want to retain what it is that we have?
What do we have in Bobby Portis? Please tell me. I'd like to know. Are you going to say TDJ?
No, I'm just curious. Like, we can retain what it is that we have. What is it that we have that's so valuable?
No. I'm talking about the main parts. I'm not talking. When I say retain what we have, I'm speaking of
the big four,
Draymond, and Jimmy Big Head Buckets. But I'm not talking about. In other words, we give up. I want to keep some of the young guys. I want to keep Richard. I want to keep Post. But we have to give up somebody like Pods, and we have to give up some other parts. Fine, GDP. I love it, but really, what has he really done to put us over the top? He's not locking down the other team's best guards. He's not doing that. So what are we waiting for him to do? I just don't understand. Are we waiting for him to start all of a sudden shooting lights out? That's not going to happen. He can hit the corner three every now and then, but he's not even doing what we have him to do. He's not necessarily.
Oh, sorry, you're breaking up smooth. I think I get your point, though, and we got to hit a break here in a second. I think, so Bobby Portis is, I think he would help him, but the other issue that they have, and I'm not saying they shouldn't look at Bobby Portis, is that's another bench player. And Bobby Portis he's not a starter.
He would be on this team.
Exactly. And maybe that's kind of the problem right now is they got a bunch of guys who look at the game last night. How many of the dudes who started, oh my goodness, now that I'm thinking about it, how many of the dudes who started for the Warriors last night are starting for the Minnesota Timberwolves?
2.
Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry.
Yep.
That's it. And honestly,
I don't know about Butler.
I was going to say that might be a tough fit if you're trying to fit Randall with Gobert. I mean, Jimmy might have came off the bench the way he played down the stretch in the fourth quarter last night. Obviously not, because he's a good player, but you get what I'm saying. It's Bobby Portis, right. I think he would come in and start for them. But how much better does that really make him? In fact, there is something that I've been thinking about on the other side, which is just who's gotten better from last year to this year on this team. I'm going to tell you who I think it is. Devon may tell you who he thinks it is. And I'm also still mad at Pasta, so we're going to get him here at some point on the other side, too. 888-957-9570 is the number. Warriors this week will be back after this on 95.7 The Game.
So what are you reading?
I'm checking out the ratings on the new TVs, and it looks like Samsung, LG, and Sony got the best scores.
Just like last year. What about those new high dynamic range TVs?
They got the highest scores of all, but their prices are really high.
Did you check online?
Yeah, their prices were about the same.
Well, there's one place where we can get a hot deal on those top-rated models.
Where?
At Video Only. Check out the ratings on TV stores.
I see. Video Only scored better than the others.
So, if you want the best deal on the best TVs,
then we should take our TV ratings and head over to top-rated Video Only.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In Mountain View, San Mateo, Union City, Dublin, and San Rafael. Video Only.
To 15-year-old Harper, buying an $80 vintage rock t-shirt is a great investment. To Harper's mom, this logic has a few holes in it. So she helped Harper open a Wells Fargo Clear Access banking account. With no overdraft fees and tools to track spending, Harper's learning, one heavy metal tee at a time. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Terms apply. Visit wellsfargo.com/deposit disclosures for fees and details. Xfinity is the network you can rely on, like a close friend who never lies. The friend who will tell you that new haircut, it's not great. Friends make sure friends get good haircuts. And Xfinity makes sure you get a good deal on Wi-Fi. Xfinity gives you reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi at our best price. This holiday season through December 21st, get gig speed Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 whole years. No strings, no commitments. Just super fast, reliable gig speed Wi-Fi with our best equipment and unlimited data included. Save yourself from questionable decisions and save over Verizon and AT&T. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Xfinity Internet powered by fiber and connected to premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime, from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, Ace's Garage Door Repair and Installation has smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video, streaming, and battery backup to let you in when the power is out. Trust Ace's Garage Door Repair and Installation for top-notch service and unbeatable reliability. Whether you need a quick fix, a complete replacement, or a brand new installation for your garage door or garage door opener, our skilled technicians are here to get the job done right. With competitive prices, a commitment to quality, and diamond certification, Aces has you covered. Call today at 855-588-2237 or visit acegd.com. That's acegd.com. Aces Garage Door Repair and Installation, where your garage door is our priority.
Kohl's Customer Appreciation Event is here, right in time for the gift exchange. Even though everyone pretends gifting isn't a competition, it kinda is. At Kohl's, save on gifts everyone will fight over. From sweaters and flannels to air fryers, toaster ovens, and more. Because deep down, the gift exchange isn't just about giving, it's also about winning. Shop Kohl's and save on top gifts now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end December 14th. See store or kohls.com for details.
95.7 The Game and Great Clips have teamed up for the new basketball season. We want our listeners to look fresh with a great haircut from Great Clips. Each week, we'll pick a lucky winner to score a gift card. For a chance to win, courtesy of Great Clips, enter online at 957thegame.com.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Chris.
I'm David.
And I'm John Margevisi with Jack's Restaurant and Bar.
Dude, what's with that voice?
Bro, it's my radio voice. People say I have a great voice for radio.
Bro, people say you have a great face for radio.
Oh, you have a radio
face.
Guys, not again. We're here to talk about Jack's. Our mom taught us everything we know. Use the best ingredients. Cook everything homemade. Treat everyone like family.
Don't forget the bar.
With amazing cocktails. Of course. Full bar. Amazing cocktails. Let's stay focused.
You're right. I'm sorry, bro.
I'm sorry, too. That's better. Besides, you're twins. You have the same face for radio.
Why, you little
I love Jax.com.
My name is Emma. I am 13 years old. 6 years ago, I was injured in a car accident that left me paralyzed from the waist down. Last January, I got to meet my service dog, Marcia. Marcia helps me open doors. She picks up things that I can't reach. She makes me feel like Together we can do anything. We are just one of the thousands of teams Canine Companions has paired together over the past 50 years. Visit canine.org to see the many ways you can change lives.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods. Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
Now back to Warriors This Week on 95.7 The Game.
Is this one of our beats from Bennett? Our guy Bennett? Pasta?
No, it's not.
Oh, sorry.
Chocolate.
Thought it was
That's the name of
it sounded like a little Pearl Jam initially. Well, Eddie Vedder? You know, Mike McCready came on my show and played the national anthem with his guitar. It was the coolest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, just straight up, like, no singing, no lyrics.
That's pretty cool. Dude, okay, so who is... I've been meaning to ask you this for a long time. Who's the most famous person in your phone?
I don't know anybody. This is just when I'm...
The Dalai Lama?
Sportscasting. My personal network is probably, I don't know, nobody.
What are you talking about?
I don't know anybody.
You just said you knew Eddie Vedder.
I don't. He came on the show. My producer probably has that. You know, he's got that wired. He suffered from some sort of an illness. He had something, and he was doing a benefit. It's the reason why he came on my show.
So back in the day, you would just walk up to your producer and say, "Hey, we're in Seattle. Can we get Pearl Jam?" Or he just came up to you and was like, "Hey, this guy's doing this thing and he wants to promote."
Yeah, I think he was doing the tour.
He wants you to interview him.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we got to a point where I'm not, seriously, I'm going to sound like an egomaniac, partially because I am a little bit, but our show got so big in Seattle and we had cornered the market that we had people who wanted to come on.
This was the night show you were doing?
No, I did a Sunday night show, which was just basically a half-hour show, just recapping sort of what we're doing here, but not for 3 hours, obviously. And we had your boy Softy on once. He almost ruined me.
I've gone on his show.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster ride.
Of dropping, you've been on Dan Patrick's show. I would give a body part to be on Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick is the godfather of all of this.
I'm convinced the boss set me up to fail on that one. Not actually, but he called. So that morning, I wanted to talk about the A's relocation or something, and I guess who's Paulie, the producer. So one of the Danettes.
Paulie, and then McLovin's gone, and so they have a new. And then they have in the back row. There's somebody who used to sit next to McLovin, who I forget his name.
I think it was Paulie because I remember seeing the email.
He books, yeah.
So he reached out to Hegan because I think so. The A's used to be with 95.7 The Game. We used to be the flagship of the Oakland Athletics. So he must have got wind of that and emailed the boss and said, "Hey, is there somebody who can come on and talk about the A's?" And the boss is probably looking around like, "Not really." But do you want to do it? So he calls me. I'm on my way into the office at 8 or something. I was honestly running late, and I was wearing this Hawaiian shirt. And I think it was an Aloha Friday. And he calls me and says, "Hey, do you want to go on Dan Patrick?"
Yeah, because they go live super early.
Yeah.
Right? It's a 6 a.m. show.
So he says, "Do you want to go on Dan Patrick?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, but why me?" And he says, "Well, you're knowledgeable about the A's and they want to talk about the relocation. Do you want to do it?" And so I'm not going to lie. Pat Spencer said that he was blacked out when he was calling himself that MFer last weekend against Cleveland. I blacked out during that interview.
Did you revere Dan Patrick like the rest of us? His show, at least?
No, but I knew how significant it was. I know how big of a deal Dan
It's
Patrick
number
is.
one.
Yeah, he's of all the syndicated shows, right? You got Jim Rome, Dan Patrick,
Le Batard, all those guys.
Yeah, no, he's the top.
He's at the top, clearly.
So no, that one was pretty cool, but also it was 8 minutes, and I feel like it went by so fast. I don't even know what I said, and you're just trying to not boof in front of. He was a really good interviewer, though. I do remember that.
He teaches. He teaches at, I want to say, Sales University in Orlando, and I know that because I used to have to go there in preparation for WWE stuff. But one of the things that I took away from what it is that he said, he's like, people will always, especially in radio, when people always, and it always gets back to less is more, and he's a big proponent of that. Ask him about Kevin Harlan. He won't say it on the air.
He has him on all the time.
About Kevin Harlan.
He has him on all the time.
But he's a less is more guy, and so when he says you're asking a good question, it's about the answer. It's not about you laying out the question so somebody's like, oh, that was a really well-said question. No, it's about you bringing the person out so that you're able to incite this really good. It's about provoking the right response to the question, not the question itself.
It's also, he didn't know who I was, obviously, but what are you trying to get at? What are you hoping your audience learns from this particular interview? So for me, I remember there was a couple things that I said, and again, I was kind of spewing and talking fast, and I was really nervous. But there was a couple moments where I feel like he could have buried me with just a simple retort, like, why do you believe that? Or a follow-up question of, well, this is what the other side is saying. And he did it in a way that wasn't confrontational, but it was almost just a slight nudge.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
He's seen it all. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good.
Evan Giddings works for 95.7 The Game in the Bay Area. Joins us on the program. Recap the past week if you can for me, Evan.
Oh,
see, that's so simple.
An easy one, Dan.
That's so
not an easy one.
That's so God. You sound like you're Boss's age. That is so him. Recap the last week. Not going into this big preamble. So this is what's going on with the A's, and I was an A's fan, and this must be tough in the community. And it just cut to the chase. I listen to a lot of people on radio that they just go through this long. Dude, you could have just, like, if you were to talk to somebody, I don't know what's topical right now. If he had somebody on for the Indiana Pacers, he would say, "Do you guys want to win 74?" Instead of talking about the Warriors and what it means to win this many games and invoking the Chicago Bulls back in the day, just because it's going to come out in your answer, not my question.
Well, it's talking to someone like you talk to him in real life. And that depends on your personality. Are you talking to someone like we're shooting the breeze at a bar? Are we talking in passing? How well do I know you? Do I want to get to know you? I think obviously he has the cachet of being so big time that he can kind of ask you whatever he wants, but that it's coming from a place of genuine interest, which I don't always get the feeling, and I do it sometimes too. Like I feel like a lot of times in interviews, you're trying to evoke an answer. You're not really curious, right? You're not asking with a curiosity of, well, I wonder legitimately what they think about this. It's, all right, I want to get something out of this guy. I want him to say something spicy or woman. I want them to say something that's going to be clipped and is going to go viral and is something that people will react to, as opposed to, hey, Dan, who's the most famous person in your phone?
Yeah, or people want to ask questions, especially in radio, and again, make it about themselves and hear their voice for 2 minutes instead of just asking a question that could have been summed up in 10 seconds. I love it when you'll hear somebody ask a question and they'll say, well, I have this question for you, Dan Patrick, and they'll go into this long dissertation, and then they'll say, because what I think is, they'll answer their own question, and then they'll finally get to what it is that they have to say. Yeah, anyways. Hey, guess who's on line one?
Oh, yeah. Well, here's a buck. Mitch is in New Jersey. Wants to talk about Jonathan Kaminga.
Hey, Mitch, if it wasn't for me, you would have been there through Christmas.
Mitch, we had you in the hopper. Don't worry about it, buddy. What's going on?
Well, I wonder, I'm in the hot seat again. Merry Christmas. Happy Festivus. Happy holidays, everybody. I guess he's falling out of favor, it seems. Maybe we share the same room. But if you want to trade him, you increase his value by playing the guy at least. And I like to see Melton be a starter. Buddy Hield, he just likes to go in the corner and shoot the ball. With Melton and Curry, at least Melton gives you defense. He's a hustler. He's a hybrid guard. He'll drive and let Curry do his shooting. He's a great Hall of Fame, one of the best players ever. And we have to get bigger. This small ball, I mean, Run DMC didn't bring us the championship, bring guys to championship. So let's get off the little people. Let's trade for somebody big. I know somebody's out there. I think he's playing in Greece. Chemese Metu. He was a teammate of Melton back at USC. Give him a shot. At least he's at least 6'9", 6'10". What do we have to lose?
How's the dog? How's the dog?
I'm hoping they don't find a home. I don't want my sister-in-law to get rid of him, even though I kind of keep my distance because he's a little hyper. He doesn't really listen.
You don't want to take him in, Mitch?
I got to keep my distance. No, I got a cat. I'm going to have my grandson, and my second grandson's going to pop up in about 13 days.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be hectic in this house. I'm going to have to dive up to here, and I'm only 5'6", but it's enough.
I got you, Mitch.
What does your height have to do with diapers?
I think it's the dog.
Well, I was saying, you can't see me out with the dog. When he stands up, he's taller than me. But I'm putting my hand up to here that with my first grandson, he's still in diapers. He's on the fence there. You get him out, and then by the time Jeremiah comes aboard, then there'll be more diapers for another 3 years about.
You still got time, Mitch.
You guys have kids?
We're here for you, Mitch.
There's no rush.
Listen, instead
All
of changing diapers, you call us, buddy.
I've been trying to adopt Pasta, but he doesn't want me.
We'll get you through, man. Hey, Merry Christmas. How you spending Christmas, man? The hell with you. We'll get you next week.
Take my call. Have a good one.
No doubt. Thanks, Mitch.
Size matters.
Oh, speaking of grandchildren, you know what? Dick Van Dyke just turned 100 years old.
I saw that.
100 years old. His grandchildren are in their 40s. Are you kidding me?
Mary Tyler Moore. Where was this?
Oh, my God.
Evan did not know that Dick Van Dyke was alive until yesterday in the Jim Barnett Media Center. And I said he was 100. His birthday's tomorrow. So here we are.
You guys
Happy
were
birthday to Dick Van Dyke.
You were randomly talking about Dick Van Dyke?
Well, someone said, who are we talking about? We're talking about somebody, and I was like, oh, Dick Van Dyke, he was a great dancer back in the day. So, anyways, Tony, Grammy, Emmys, Elvis. And I was just like, yeah, but he's got to be gone, right? And Pasta goes, no. In fact, he's turning 100.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize was a massive story this week. He was born in 1925. That's unbelievable.
I'm trying to think of... I saw Robert De Niro. I didn't see him, but Robert De Niro was in a place I was in New York recently, and I was thinking about... So I looked him up, and he looks so old. Oh, he's only 82. I mean, I guess... everything's relative, right? Well, Rick Barry's in that neighborhood, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's still pretty fit. I thought he was 80? He's got to be... in 1975, when they won the championship, he was just... I think he was in his late 20s, 27. So he's got to be 77.
What's your favorite
78?
De Niro movie?
My favorite De Niro movie?
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, there are... You can't watch it a lot, but either Taxi Driver...
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah, that's...
that's
a tough movie to watch.
Jodie Foster.
Taxi Driver or...
Harvey Keitel was the pimp. And actually, the...
Deer Hunter.
Oh, good call.
Deer Hunter. Both movies that you want... just say, Drum Up All Saturday Night. What do you want to watch? Yeah, Deer Hunter.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah, both intense movies that I like a lot. Heat's also pretty damn good. But I don't know. I mean, there's so many of them. What about you?
Let's talk Warriors before...
Well, I was going to go into my Mary Poppins spiel because Dick Van Dyke was obviously back in the 60s in that movie. Great film.
Let's finish strong.
All right. Well, somebody wants to get into the dub, so I want to allow them to speak. Well, we got 10 minutes here. And the Warriors got problems, Dan. That's my takeaway. They got problems. They're 500. They're 13-13. In fact, this was one of the issues I had with them last year, is every single time I look up, they are 500 again. So they've been 6-6, 9-9, 10-10, 11-11, 12-12, and now 13-13. What am I supposed to do with that?
So say it with me.
What?
Bill Parcells, you are what your record is.
Yeah, they're mid.
Playoffs?
MID mid.
So that's just it. You have to change your expectations. So instead of being annoyed or upset, just recognize that you are mid. You're a 500 team with an exceptional top 5 player of all time, which should be reason to watch in and of itself. But the idea of they're underperforming, we're so far from catching OKC, we need this, that, and the other thing. You are the pure definition of mediocrity. Nobody wants to be mediocre. Well, actually, some teams. Utah would like to be mediocre. Washington would like to be mediocre. Charlotte would like to be mediocre. The Warriors are a mediocre basketball team. They have some headliners in terms of star power, but at the end of the day, Bill Parcells is right.
All right, well, before we do more therapy, I want to talk to Burns. You can help me out, too.
Mr. Burns?
No, Burns is in Fremont.
Simpsons?
Release the hounds. What's up, Burns? How you doing?
Evil E and Big D. What is going on, fellas? First of all, let's back off the mediocre word. I know it probably is true, but it just really puts a bad taste in my mouth. Hey, come on, man. It was awesome seeing Steph back yesterday. The starting lineup was interesting. Evan, when the Warriors have been going for that above 500 win, have we had the full lineup? I'm not sure. Until we get those guys, I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get a full lineup out of those guys, but once we do, then we'll start kind of calculating those W's. There's the one guy that will rename nameless. I don't want to have you lose any of your your weekend money, all right? But I could care less, and I loved it. I could care less about that guy. My last little thing is, since we're on hoops and the Warriors, man, go see the Warriors and all, but right now it's college hoops is kicking off. My Cal Bears have
go Cal.
And for you that don't know, the Cal Bears are in the ACC. That means we get ACC teams coming to the Bay. I just picked up my 3-game mini plan: Louisville, Duke, and North Carolina. I mean, come on.
Nice.
That is sick, man. I cannot wait. Enjoy the basketball around the Bay. Hey, you guys are awesome. I love listening to you guys on the weekends, man. You guys take care and have a great day.
Thanks, Burns. And he's going to get to see JKS all of next year because he's coming back.
Oh, who cares?
Songa
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we're not losing him to the
we're
portal.
We're talking hoops now.
Well, he brought up Cal.
Oh, they're playing in the Hawaii Bowl, the
was
Honolulu Bowl.
Was he talking about Cal basketball or Cal football? Oh, I thought he was talking about
Cal hoops.
Cal football for next year.
Mad Dog, Mark Madsen, right? Is he still coaching them?
Yeah, they're actually pretty good this year. I think they were off to I don't know what they've done the last 2 games, but they're off to a 7-1 start. All right. Well, this is a low blow. From the 510. Evan, what was a bigger blur for you, when you went on the Dan Patrick Show or when you couldn't throw a strike and walked 13 batters in a row?
Did you really?
No, I never walked that many in a row.
Come on, Howard.
No, I got pulled after 4. Come on, man. Also, have you know, you don't want me to go down my stats. They were a lot better than you think, buddy. Only one person in this room's thrown a no-hitter. That's all I know.
Really? You went no-no?
Oh, yeah. Come on, man.
Are we talking college or high school?
No, senior year of high school. Struck out 12.
Wow.
Just another day.
I want to say Steve Kerr had a no-no. Oh, no.
It wasn't
he
Steve
broke
Kerr.
up a no-hitter.
Yeah, he broke up a no-hitter.
Who did he break up? Look it up, Pasa.
I'll look it up.
It was at Dodger Stadium. It was someone famous. It was
somebody who had gas.
It was a guy who went on to play Major League Baseball, I believe, because Kerr talked about I think it might have been at Dodger Stadium.
It was Dodger Stadium.
Gosh, who
was it? Brett Saberhagen?
Yes.
Yes. Former Kansas City Royal.
Good call,
Former
Pasta.
Cy Young Award winner.
Good call.
I don't think he broke up his no-hitter. I think he pitched against Brett Saberhagen at Dodger Stadium.
Still stands.
I want to say he broke it up, or he went.
Still stands.
He went, yeah. I think he hit a salami.
I mean, Steve Kerr's got he's 6'2". I mean, all right. Well, this should give people some solace as we wrap up here. For all the people who don't like the job that Steve Kerr is doing or are dissatisfied with the state of the Warriors, and mediocrity. I know Burns doesn't like that word, whatever. This is potentially the last year Steve Kerr's head coach. So that is something that if you really feel that way, I know that people don't want to wait and they don't want to waste a season or feel like they've wasted a season, but if you really don't believe that Steve Kerr is the right head coach for this team, I got good news for you, is that they can make a choice at the end of the year about that.
Well, they can't, but Steve Kerr is...
Or he could walk away.
Well, if this gets a little bit later past the All-Star break, I'm thinking he's gone.
Like they would fire him mid-season?
No, if he's not under contract.
Oh, no, I agree. I mean, the other part is, too, is if that's... Why, unless they make a move, which I think they will, but...
Why do you want to... Yeah, I hear
Why would you want to stick around?
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I don't think he's done a fantastic job this year, there's a lot of things that I would question, including like last night with Will Richard. Like, is another person going to be the difference between this team getting to the Western Conference Finals or not? I mean, I think there's bigger problems than Steve Kerr. He is and has been a problem at times, but this roster is just not very good.
Yeah, and you have to be able to recognize that you got to know when to be Jim Brown and to exit stage left.
Well, he went out on top.
Exactly. Well, okay, you're not on top, but get out now before it gets really ugly. He'd be more like Sean Payton. Sean Payton didn't get out after the Super Bowl, but he could see writing was on the wall when it came to New Orleans in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I don't think he's a Popovich, or the Warriors would want him to be one, which is to say that they would just let him be the coach during a 5 or 6 year playoff drought. I don't think he'd want to do that.
He's got other things in his life going on. Let his son take over.
Well, also Popovich was someone who had front office. He was entangled with the front office.
By the way, before we get out of here, so the Emirates Cup, which by the way is coming up tonight. I'm all bought in. Maybe because the Knicks were in the semis and I kind of got into it. Wembanyama taking on OKC.
Are we sure he's back tonight?
I don't know. It's a game time
I hope
decision.
he is. Actually, if Wemby's back,
that'll be fun.
I think they got a shot to beat OKC.
Don't do that.
If Wemby's likely to return tonight per Shams,
you probably have a better shot without him. They're 8-3 without him.
You're not better without Wemby.
Do you know what OKC did in the semifinals of the Emirates Cup to Phoenix?
They beat him by 50.
It was over by halftime.
Oh, man. I think they don't even have... Well, actually, this is why I believe the Spurs could beat them tonight. Oh, is he back?
Dylan Harper.
No. I was going to say, I thought the Thunder center was out.
Hartenstein,
yeah. No, he didn't play last game.
I think I told you this before. You know the Emirates Cup, the Emirates airline?
I want to see Wemby Holmgren.
I have a buddy who flew to London, and his company put him up on first class on Emirates. He's like, bro, you've got to do this once in your lifetime. He's like, it's something none of us can afford. But he said it was better than my studio apartment in New York City. He's like, I had a bed, a sink, it was like room service. He's like, at one point I was flying and I'm watching television and I'm on my laptop and I forgot where the hell I was. He's like, it was so nice. He didn't want to leave. And he's lying in bed.
Well, tell him to hook it up next time. Tell his company to take us three out to whoever
like Emirates is for real.
Whatever posh location we're going to be out at. By the way, we got to do a live taping somewhere between the three of us.
The Rockers.
Yeah, I'm in. Send this over to him. See if we can get it sponsored. And by sponsored, I really just mean a couple free beers. Yeah. I'm cheap. Thank you. All right, that'll do it for this edition of Warriors This Week with Dan Devone.
You got to get yourself on the good side of LaRocca's.
Steven Risotto. Oh, he didn't like that?
No. The last time we spoke about LaRocca's, you said, yeah, I don't like it. And I made a huge issue of it. And they caught wind of this. So you got to go make nice. But you know how to do that.
I've given them business.
All right.
We can stop by there on the way over. All right. My name is Evan Giddings. We'll talk to you next week.
What's your name? Pasta, what's his name?
Howie.
Howard. Not Howie.
Not
Howard.
Howie.
Howard.
Howard Giddings on 95.7 The Game.
This is Dan Devone saying, so long, everybody.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising. After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.